That should be good. Let me know if we're all there. Looks that way. Let me know if we're all there. Oh god, double. Pause that up. Welcome everybody. Thank you, Zed. Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie-ing. Yeah, we're supposed to see the cat. The cat actually needs her light as well. Because lighting's the thing. What is? Damn. Cat light. Secretly a cat. You guys have made this joke every time. Cat cam with cam and some cam on cam. You know what? I saw a game today. Speaking of which, Cyrus, I saw a game. I was looking through a Saturn library that was some sort of basketball game called like Slam Jam with Magic Johnson or something. I'm assuming that's basketball. Don't know my players well, but I'm pretty sure it's a basketball player. I was like, I feel like I have to play this now, even though I don't know or care for basketball. Cat cam. Yep. Well, we're gonna get going with DK64, continuing to get all the golden bananas. Matching Zed getting the all the jiggies. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. I do know him. I just it's just like that's the guy from there. Oh, did the cat exit? Uh-oh. It's alright, we're going to this now anyways. Boom. We're gonna play the how long does the Wii U gamepad last today before I charged it differently directly through the wire. I doubt that's gonna make a difference. We're at 8 o'clock now, so let's see if it's about half an hour again. That's atrocious. She's not fat, she's fluffy. Come on, Johannes. Seriously though, she's actually just all fluff. You give her a bath, she is pretty small. Although she's been putting on a few, I think, last year. Although I guess a few for a cat's pretty hefty. Where do we want our volume? It's always different from game to game. No reps. No reps. Just got her locked down, probably. So I've been the opposite, thankfully. I've been making sure that doesn't happen, at least. Okay, so I was just looking funky there. Good. No wraps. Enough of that wrap for one lifetime. You know, my volume's... That's why. I just forget I'm listening directly to the capture card. Okay, so last we left off, we were on World 4. The water level. And this is bothering me a little bit. That's probably a little better. It's fine if that's there, I just don't... That's a little better. Okay. Alright. Yeah, last we left off... Oh, we're gonna leave that 100% crystal coconuts on again once. Because I've done this too many times. And that is annoying. Okay. By my count... Let me save file. Zed is on Gobi's Valley, which is World 6. And we're on World 4 of this. So we might need to start World 5 today. World 5 is actually my favorite, though, so that's not a tough sell. Not that this game is a tough sell in general to play. I'm just trying to think of anything else we can do before we go into World 4. Not really. Considering, yeah, they locked that one progression behind later stuff. Just wonderful. That's also within the hub world of this. I always remember just exploring this island to, like, every degree. Back when you're a kid, you have so much time just to, like, explore and wonder to not understand game design and think that they might be hiding things in absolutely stupid spots. Definitely did a lot of that in a lot of these 3D era games. Camera off. Who has the best... Worst camera? This or Banjo-Kazooie? You know what? Again, somebody with better tech than I probably knows exactly what the, if it's like the same engine or what, but I imagine it's probably pretty similar. I just don't remember opening that door, but apparently we did, so we're gonna start here. Oh, this is Chunky and Lanky. For some reason I thought this was DK. Chunky, Lanky, Tiny. Okay. Definitely start there. This whole world's going to be a little dark, although whatever I see on my TV is usually darker than what's actually streaming for some reason with this capture card. It's not a big deal. Oh, did we get the cat back? Sweet. Good girl. Although, are you off camera? Come on, cat. Find your spotlight. We've been over this. There you go. I still like how I never call her by her name on stream. It's Mitzi. Yeah, that's part of the big reason behind the cat cam is because it's being bugged about getting face cam, but at the same time, it's just like, no, but we'll get cat cam because the cat is like this corner of the bed's real close to the computer station, so she'll just sit there pretty much anytime I'm here. So yeah, it's pretty much her place on the bed. She'll move and sleep between my feet at night. That's about it. Can we platform with a giant cannonball? That's the question. This might be a little tough. Let's see, what's the... Oh, nope! Okay, I thought we had a slowdown for that reticle. We have so many of these, that's not even gonna hit it. Yeah, okay. Hit detection's weird, but in a good way. So figure 8, I think. So that should do it. Okay. Let's see. All the way over there. Is that just a giant circle? Ooh. Okay. That's enough of that. Sometimes one of yours sleeps on your arm, but I tend to switch in my sleep and it freaks the crap out of her. She ends up scratching the hell out of my arm. Yeah, that doesn't sound fun. Mine's pretty chill. If she can also be skitterish though, so if you do manage to panic her, you might be... It's probably the only time you're prone to getting scratched. Thankfully. She'll also do the kneading thing, but she's only a lap cat when I'm like under all the blankets and stuff. So it's not a big deal. I got armor. Which is true today for the puppy, too. We got the puppy update. We did get the puppy to swim for the first time today. I had to carry, like, the 80-pound puppy into the water, and he was pretty reluctant. But he wasn't super reluctant. But enough to, how is that not hit? And the early one does. Enough to shred a shirt I had, at least the bottom of it. So I saw that coming, so I wore an old work shirt when we did that. But he got a few paddles in, just put him where he couldn't touch, even though he could probably still, you know, get his back paws down there. Just probably what he did. What is the arc on this? That's not even... Oh my god. To what we understand, I'm gonna say Great Pyrenees for sure. And beyond that, he's Husky and Border Collie is what we suspect. We do not know the father for sure. It's kind of like a farm thing that happened out here. Ooh. We were totally in the water when that happened. Oh, okay, that's fine. But he's about 7 months today, so... come on. Oh, you son of a beach. That's also not gonna freaking land. This is not one of my favorite missions. Yeah, he's pretty big already. And this is the last one we have to hit, though. Oh, looks good to me. Or, you know, not. Okay. I was trying to think of difficult golden bananas in this level we'd have to face. None of the really bad ones should be... Well, that's not true. You never know when Beaver Ball is going to rear its ugly head. Because those are just some bonus games. I don't remember specifically where. Damn, Jumpy's already got 3 of his golden bananas here. We must have done a fair chunk, dare I say, of this last time. I thought we didn't really get much done on this. But apparently I would be wrong. I'm not sure we're going to go super late tonight. I made a mistake. I thought my next semester was starting next month. And it's a surprise. It's tomorrow. So it's not like super early or anything, but we're not probably going to go super late. I don't know. We might have to stay caught up here. It's not a big deal. It's kind of a bonus semester I'm taking to grab an extra teachable and visual arts. Because I needed I don't know, it's just the way it shook out. I won't go into the details, but the way it shook out, I just figured I'd do an extra semester. I was kind of going to keep taking classes anyways, more teachables, more employability, etc. Closer to your masters later if I ever do decide to go to it, but I have no desire to write, like, what the hell those giant papers are called for masters at any time soon. Hour or two left. Didn't you say it was 4 a.m.? Dang. It's impressive. Thesis. I was thinking disrotation, but I don't know. This is why I shouldn't have my masters. I don't even know what's required at the moment. I know there's like a giant... I think it is... No, not a thesis. Because thesis is your ending paragraph now. I'm just trying to think where we want to be. Right, because we did Drunky Chunky last time. That's why he has extra golden bananas. If we continue in that one... You know what? We want DK, I think. But I don't know if we open the second. Or dissertation. Yeah, the big uni words. Okay, yeah, Diddy needs to open that side. I don't think dissertation is right either. I'm trying to... I don't know. It's the big thing. The big, like... I have a master's in anything. Apparently we all need to write a big 40-page damn essay for whatever reason. I know one of my coworkers is doing it right now, and I have no desire to do that right now. Okay, actually, we might want to start out with Lanky here to unlock things. We also have buttons there. Okay. Let's start out with Lanky. I think this guy's probably going to come back. Again, you can take those guys out from the charge B attack or music. There's pretty much no other option. The funny thing is, if you do throw oranges at them, they try and swat them like using their giant spike club as a baseball bat. It's pretty great. So, actually, we get to see one of our instances here. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna let Travis know that we are doing this. So he wanted to know. Okay, sorry about that. I meant to do that earlier. Okay. But yeah, this will be one of our only instances of Ongardi, the swordfish. I mean, I guess we ended last stream with him, but he's also on this half of the level. You'll notice these levels are getting, honestly, even more massive. Now, there is a... Yeah, there it is. There's like a ring thing here. I don't know how that actually hit, but I'll take it. Whoop. I don't know how these are hitting. I'm taking it, though. You have to go for a big... Watch, if I go for a big wind-up and line it up, I'll probably miss. No, we're good. I do like how he doesn't... The animation doesn't keep playing of him. Like, his gravity just stops and he just falls backwards when you touch the ring. Kind of defeats the purpose a little bit, I think. We don't really want to go in there. That's more for others. It does open us up options. The other thing is, yeah, I think we want to stab some chests down here. Which I believe will reset if you leave the world. Yeah, probably if you leave. I was going to say if you reset the game, but if you leave the world, I think it's probably a reset. You know what we're going to do right now, just because we have to keep up with it? Yeah, see how we still got DK Arcade saved there as a save state? Yeah, we got to try and remember to do these every now and then. Just in case I ever accidentally load, but we don't really boot up that menu too often. Okay. Designated cat needs out time. Since you're out this time of night. And she'll be back in like 10-15 minutes. So I can farm what? Oh, no, not like in the sense that we could farm these. It's just the fact that like what's in them is, you know, bananas for DK or coins for DK or whatever stuff for Chunky. I didn't actually pay attention to what it was. But those will end up back in the chest basically if we don't get them early. What was that? I still didn't pay attention. I feel pretty out of it. Okay, there's just coins. It's really not even a big deal. How do we... Okay. I didn't know we could take... I think we did that last time by accident. Took pictures as a swordfish. There we go. Ow! How dare you? I was busy. Trying to figure out the controls. Hang on. Let's see those bananas. Okay, there we go. No! I don't want to be a swordfish anymore, Mom. Thank you. Okay, then DK had bananas down there. Yeah, this one, this is starting to feel like a much longer world to me, though, because, I don't know, I think water slows everything down a bit, but I don't mind this one. Like I said, my least favorite's always the desert world. Memes aside, I don't care for deserts, in games. Oh god, I didn't break one of those. Okay. I think I have a softer spot for the one in this one, because it's my favorite game. But even so. This one, a lot of people hate water levels or like ice levels. I like both in this. I don't really think we have an ice theme, to be honest. Wow, we have one of those already. Okay, I'm gonna take that. We're gonna need the swordfish back for the other chest. We should probably actually bring him around to other sections of this level, because this half of the water is actually bigger than the other side. At least on a, I guess, like width sense or sprawling sense. The other one's kind of deeper. We already saw it. Didn't we? We had Tiny in there to talk to the mermaid, I think. So there'll be a part 2 of that coming up somewhere in this half. We should get on guard to unlock everything we can. I can't remember where he's not technically allowed. So there will be areas that he's not allowed. That is just blanky coins. Okay. At least it's consistent about the Kong. Oh, see, there is more down here. Good. Diddy, is this seriously all just coins? Thank God we're not collecting all those, because it's really not much point. Again, there's like 790 coins in the game, and you only need to spend like, I want to say 100. It's not counted towards completion. Anyways, so, thank God for that. I'll defend this game plenty, but that would not be one thing I would defend. Came down to it. There's also another gimmick in this with the... Basically... Okay, there we go. Lowering and rising water, which will kind of affect a lot of things within the level. So there's 2 different heights the water can be at, and that's going to change everything. It's kind of a cool little dynamic thing. What did we have there? Green hair? Okay. Get Chunky to do that right now. Let's kind of get the underwater effect in the barrel, which is neat. Once we get underwater. I did get the regular bananas earlier. No. 66. It's looking that way. I'm actually going to stop in Candy Shop there and get a refill on music stuff, because it doesn't like to remember what you were at for ammunition for, well, just about anything. There tends to be a general reset counter at just about any of the things that need restock. It's kind of a little annoying, but... And oh wait, I thought was Candy's here. Okay. Well, we could probably get a restock from him, honestly, on ammo, even though it's a little more common. Having the warp pads around this level is a bit weirder, because they kind of just have, like, debris that's around, that kind of has the warp pads on them. I know there's been times I haven't found, like, warp pad 5, technically, until, like, way frickin' later in the game. I think it's actually, like, this one or something, though. No. I don't know what it's supposed to be. I'm half expecting to see the door that Kate Winslet, you know, stayed on while Leonardo DiCaprio died in Titanic. Yes, it was big enough for both of them. Mythbusters proved it. They just need to strap their life jackets underneath it in order to support both humans' weight. Fun facts. Since we're on a shipwrecky level, it seems appropriate. Okay, this is the section. It does look very similar. We can get a little fun DK game there too as well. Now, I don't know if she's gonna actually if everyone has shared resources for... Oh! Upgrade our instrument. What is... Oh, more stock. Okay. So that should restock everyone anyways. I was gonna say, I'm not sure if they share ammo on that. Got more musical energy. We have all the latest, greatest tech in musical instruments. Okay, DK. Time to do a fun minigame. It's one of our minecart type things, except it's a race. Shiver me flippers! 'Tis the good monkey here, matey. I've some gold with the thanks from this old sea dog or something. Oh, okay. That's enough to get one gold banana. Now he's gonna want a race. Because of course he wants a race. Because a lot of the animal buddies want races in this game. Not the least of which is going to be a certain rabbit that's going to be possibly needing his own entire freaking stream later. Oh god, there's like no warning on this one. Just go. A little boat time though. Oh, okay, it's wave race style. Only missed so many gates. Ah! It's hit detection. It's not very forgiving. If you like hit the buoys, it does not count. God, this is a little disorienting actually. Oh, hi! Mr. I go underwater randomly? Oh, did we lose all our freaking coins? How many do we need, buddy? I feel like I did not. Oh, you know what? That is not my fault. That was a complete bump out of the buoys from Mr. Buddy here. Oh, God. Come on. Alright, I'll take that hit. Okay, I'm surprised that counted when two others didn't, that were very similar. What are we at? Lap 2 of 2. Need to make sure we get a coin here somewhere, so I'm assuming it's 10 or 15. Hopefully it's not something bizarre like 25, but we've lost a lot of them on crates. We'll see if 10's enough. Probably not. I feel like it's going to be at least 15. Yeah, I don't remember him telling me. Be a long while since I lost, matey. Okay. That is enough. I know the hackers can access this golden banana multiple times. On a video I saw once, you can get more than 201 golden bananas. You can get like 200, I think 9 have been discovered. Because you can technically grab that one again if you like phase your way into the level from here and swim it, and then phase into where that banana technically existed, which was inside that that cabin it came out of. It's quite a few. What, golden bananas? Yeah, it's a lot. I think what we might do next, because we need to kind of determine when I want to lower the water, so we'll try and do everything with the water raised. For example, that mission would not be accessible if the water was lowered. It's probably like, I want to say like a 6-foot difference, but it makes all the difference when it comes to accessing, say, that entryway. I think this might actually not be what I'm thinking of. No, it is. Okay. All this treasure. We will get Tiny in here first. I know one of these mini games is brutal. It might be Beaver Bother. I don't think it's Beaver Bother, but there is a mini game that I actually remember having trouble with at the top of these coins. There's a way to get, I think it's Diddy and DK up there. Okay, let's see how we can get these first. Diddy, Lanky, and technically DK has to get up there through a teleport pad that'll appear later. Okay, wow, we're making good progress on this though. Okay, here we go. Oh, right, okay. I actually kind of forgot what was in here. I was going to say, I can't remember if that hurts or not. I think it only hurts if it snaps on you. I thought I remember the teeth just hurting in general. I think we're going to have to stay inside this one for the moment. It's not Pikmin style. You can stay inside there. Wow, there's some weird graphics going on there. Gotta get her pearls back. A mermaid from last stream. Let's not try and get out of here yet. Okay. Okay, apparently you can just touch the teeth. Play a little dentist inside there. I'm gonna stop this because he's gonna shut up there. Okay. Hello. I'm gonna... Yep. Ah! As long as we clip out, I'm kind of... Oh. Okay, I thought she phased through the wall there. Look, more coins. Now I've collected all these pearls, maybe I should go see the mermaid. I think a funny thing about that is, if you could do this before talking to the mermaid, and she'll still say that, which makes a little sense, because she hasn't actually met the mermaid. I might be wrong. I feel like I remember noticing that, or having it pointed out in a, probably like a stream or Let's Play I watched of it as well. Tends to be a game I watch. If someone I know is doing it, Jesus Christ, what is the depth perception here? What is... Yeah, usually if someone I know is playing it, I will watch it, because it's not... I feel like most people I know are not going to play it. It's not a game for everybody, that is for sure. Zed's got the one everyone likes there in Banjo-Kazooie. That's far more favorable to most people, but I still prefer this. I'm weird, but I prefer this. Yeah, a lot of people aren't big into 3D platforms. It's kind of like why we stopped seeing them after like the... I want to say like the last big one I saw was Pac-Man World 2, which I do want to cover at some point as well. It's quite a fun one to me. So like, kind of around like early 2000s. I think the only thing DK actually has to go up these for is a Kersplat that we can hear over there. I think this is still holding up as my favorite video game, though. I do have to say. It's kind of part of this, again, this several 3 visit, because I do them like every 1 to 3 years, I feel like. I think I've only actually officially been through it all the way 3 times. And those are all 101%. Okay, so one of these guys has a minigame. I think it's Diddy, and it's brutal. And it spawns the 4 portal, I believe. So we'll have to get DK in through that. Searchlight C. Okay. They did make Crash 4, but didn't sell well enough for... Really? Crash 4 just happened, didn't it? Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, I guess Sony still kind of did them. I was on the GameCube and Xbox mostly in that era, I guess. Yeah, Ratchet and Clank, I have done that since. That is pretty much 3D platform. Wow, that was easy. Okay. I like collecting platformers, though. Those died. Ukulele, tried to bring it back. I liked it. We might cover it at some point, too. I never actually finished it, but I liked it. Other than that, well, I guess Hat in Times, that's a collecty one, isn't it? I know it's one of the well-regarded, like, reboots or whatever, but it's I don't know if it's collecty. I couldn't say. This one's about as collecty as it gets. I don't know if it's been outdone to this date. I think RNC is the only active non-Nintendo platformer series. RNC, Ratchet and Clank, okay. So I have that Ratchet and Clank, like, collection on PS3. God knows I never get out my PS3. I didn't actually have one. It was like, when I was out of high school and all of a sudden I had money from jobs, it was like, I went by crazy for a while and ended up getting a PS3 because I missed out on it during its actual life. Having a 360. But yeah, Ratchet and Clank Collection is one of the ones I got. I did start the first one. I got quite a ways into it too, I think. Okay, this is going to be something rough. This is probably our tough banana for the night. Really, this is what I didn't get through.
Welcome to bonus stage.
Okay, because this is a bit of trial and error with these ones. They will turn around at specific moments. We don't know which way to go. I believe it's not this way. Okay, he's turning that way. Sometimes they'll turn directly around. Yeah, that's not the way. Collecty. Collecty is a new word.
Welcome to bonus stage.
I feel like, honestly, it's probably just when I'm beat tired, but my vocabulary's shrunk when it's usually pretty large.
Welcome to bonus stage.
I remember my mom used to get mad at me when I was, like I said, I'm living with them again momentarily, but when I was living with them back in the day, she's like, you shouldn't use so many big words. A lot of people don't know. And it's like, they weren't even that big of words, but it was just like, no, I disagree. If I have the right word to describe the situation I'm using, why am I not going to use it exactly? Most people agree with me. It was a weird conversation. Yeah, okay. Collecty jumpy games. I like that. That's the kind of thing I would say. Collecty jumpy. Should adopt that.
Welcome to bonus stage.
Okay, yeah, we couldn't go on inside track with this guy. We could get the outside track here, though. Then this guy's gonna turn around. And I don't think we have to wait for an inside track on him. He's gonna turn around left. Yeah. Oh boy. Which was it? I think it was this guy. We would have an inside track, but we might have screwed it up. No, we're good. That's not it, really. It's okay. I think it looks like it gives you like one screw up. Usually they wait before they turn around. Come on. I'm really surprised. This is definitely one I couldn't get by before. This is not that bad. I think it was probably when I was younger and I probably didn't realize how much leeway it gives you on being in these flashlights. Like, as long as you're on the outskirts of it, you're fine, you know? Just don't want to jump the gun either. If I jump the gun there, he's going to get me. It's going to be centered. Of course it's the last one I check, though. And this guy's probably going to have a quick turnaround. I think these guys seem to be going faster. So he's going to turn directly around. And... oh. Jeez. So we probably do need to get it while he's doing the... He did seem to give us some time on the left side here. There's one more. Okay. How far is he going? He's going to turn that way. He's going to give me an inside track on the right, probably. Maybe. Oh, there's more? I thought I saw the finish line, like, right nearby the... yeah, he's going to get me right... ah! Okay. How many frickin' more of these? Oh my god, really? It's right there. Collecty jumpy.
Welcome to bonus stage.
It's the new pause champ. It's gonna be a running gag. I wonder if I can... now I just want to do this quicker. Like, can I get by there quicker? Probably not. Ah, it's fine. I think I'm usually pretty good with mazes and sense of direction, but I think given the way this pans around, I can't say I remember which way to go. It's gonna be this guy, then straight through, then wasn't it like right? Yeah, because if we go right here, we can see the exit, so it has to be something like that. So go with center guy, and he was left side. Just give him a little second here to make sure we're not in the light at all. This guy, I don't even remember at this point, see like which side we passed him on or anything. Did he turn to the right again? I think we just kind of shimmied around. Oh my god. And then we need to go past this guy. He's going to give us the inside track there. And then Buddy Boy here, same thing. He's doing a circle. Good. Well done. Keep an ear open for the cat. See, okay, it is the 4. I'm trying to remember, because we did get that. It was near Funky or Candy, so if we come back there now... I don't think we had any more collectibles. Well, we had Diddy Bananas on the way out, so we'll take Diddy out, and... I guess we could have teleported to the 4, but we do want these bananas, ideally. We're not getting 100%, like, regular bananas either. reiterate. Because you only need 75 out of 100 per level for completion. And I've done this enough times, I don't care to do 100 again. Because you do get like an extra little sound chime for 100, but it's kind of the only benefit. Okay, so this was 5, I think. So the 4 is over this way. What happens if you hear the cat? Let me know. If you can hear it through the door, it's pretty good on the mic, I guess. Problem is it's like noise canceling headphones. So I need to like pull one off the ear. Usually I can hear it through the headphones, though, to be fair. Okay, these didn't restock. It was just funkies or chunkies. Okay, how are we doing on things? 3 out of 5 bananas. Okay, 3 out of 5 without bananas. None. 2 out of 5, no blueprints. So wait, we still need blueprints with Diddy, Lanky. That's it. Diddy, Lanky. Whisper secret code? Yeah, it's something along the lines of meow. In her Mitzi voice. Okay, let's see. So with lowered water still, I'm trying to think. Because we're going to do some back and forth. We do have all these ships to do as well, but those should be on lowered water. Thankfully, you can still reach these jumps. It's really not a huge difference with how much lowered it gets. Oh, I should have showed you. He like bashes his own head with the baseball bat thing. Okay, Diddy. We're gonna go for Diddy's first. Do we lower the water though? We'll see if there's... I think we did everything here. But we'll see if there's raised water stuff. Like right now, actually there is, because we need to access the jetpack still, which we can technically still do when this is lowered. But we'd have to access the 5 portal to do so. There's not too much that needs to be lowered here. Obviously, whatever that is, I think, that's a blueprint there. Which I think... Let's check whose it is. It's Diddy's. Okay. I'm actually thinking I can cheese this a little sooner if I play an instrument from back here. There's the cat. Right on cue. Okay. So yeah, if we play an instrument, I think we can just swim to the thing, if we can get there soon enough. Might actually want to cheese the jetpack there to get there faster. We'll see, because the blueprints don't stick around forever. I think we did everything on the ship. Yeah, it was like Completionist in his videos pointing out that he underused instruments back in the day, and it's definitely true for me as well. They're so broken. Oh, he's not dead. Okay, I don't think we can really kill him any other way then. It was worth a shot. So we'll need lowered water for that. I mean, we could lower it and come back like immediately. It's right here. But right now I want to do the fish mission. Which actually shouldn't matter which height the water is for that. It is an interesting gimmick, I'll give it that. This one gave me a bit of nightmares back in the day. I wouldn't do this one. It's terrifying. I was just terrified to know that I released that abomination in the water. More than anything. You should be able to use 5 portal to get back there a little quicker too. But it is as bad as you think. You have to be intentionally eaten by this robot fish. Again, I don't think they time these out intending for you to use portals. Come on, open up. Maybe this is part of what they time in, though. Yeah, BK does, Banjo-Kazooie does, stack damage for full damage, doesn't it? Get rid of these bees. Robots. Oh, hey, yeah, hey, Phoenix Down. I was, I saw the purple username. I thought it was still talking to fractions there. I think it should be these, actually. Break his mechanical heart with peanuts. Okay, it's going to start a timer for us. Oh, it's going to be that one now. Damn, man, we do those more than once. I don't know if we can get it between the blades. I don't think so. I don't think we can get more than one either. Yeah, I know you're still there. Just confused for a second. Okay. How's your night going, Travis? Oh, right. Come on. We're gonna need, like, wait 2 more phases to even get this now. Break his mechanical heart. I don't think it... I think it literally doesn't even open up the option until it's in the correct position to shoot these. Probably shouldn't be using so much ammo. Hang on. I'm not getting the bees. They can... What the? What the? Oh god. Note to self. Using guitar phases through solid objects. Jesus Christ. What the hell is that? Come on, hurry up. It's probably just enough time to do this. There we go. I appreciate it, Zed. I like the way it worked out. I don't know if we'll get something like that going next, but I'm not opposed. It's not a hard sell to get me to play this game, so it did work out really well. And I'm glad you're getting your revisit of Banjo-Kazooie. It's been like 20 years. I should probably do my like 10-year revisit of that at some point, but I don't know. Yeah, Refractions is a trooper. Goes alright, was playing Halo earlier, head started hurting. So, oh, that's not fun. Didn't stop. Yeah. You got the Halo bundle, like the Chief Collection. It's pretty solid if you're into it. I know Cyrus and I did quite a bit of it, obviously. It's actually on VGA. We did that for one of the events before it was on PC. So I'm just thinking about who we need next. We still need the water. I think we might need the water lowered, and we should stick to Diddy Kong, actually. Probably find that 5 portal again and just jump over there. So I don't think we want the water raised for much else. Not sure. You really want to buy Banjo-Tooie now? I'm scared to know how much that one's going for, but I feel like anything full release price is probably not bad for something like that, honestly. If you're into it enough, obviously. Oh, well, we don't need the jetpack after this, but yeah, we gotta lower the water here. Yeah, I can't say I've seen this gimmick too much. I guess whatever Zed was just doing on Gobi's Valley there was technically a water you know, like, what's the frickin' word? I can't think of my words. Wanna, like, transplace the water? I don't think it's transplace, but, you wanna get the water from one spot to another, I think is what you were trying to have done there, technically, Zed. So that tree could stop complaining about how dry it was. If I remember right. I've only done Banjo once. Why do we have a triangle there? Okay. 40 to 50 is not bad. You've got Master Chief Collection, you're running through all the campaigns. You think on the 3rd mission of the OG. Okay, 3rd, so your Truth and Reconciliation. It's a pretty repetitive one and that puts you inside the spaceship. It's fun when you can do it on mouse control, because I did so much Halo back on the original Xbox. To like be able to, all my Overwatch skills to use and just keep headshotting all the aliens because they're a lot easier to predict. It was great. Yeah, I'm also interested in how you feel about Banjo-Tooie. I've heard mixed reactions on that one. And that it's I feel like I would like it because I'm easy to please with these rare games. And this is my favorite. That if it has taken more of a DK64 style, it's only going to be to its benefit for me. If that makes sense. Of course, I'm not going to search out a cartridge on that one. I don't think... Oh, we're going to need to do On Guard again, I think. Because, yeah, like I said, it resets since we reset the games the last time. Gonna make, yeah, the frickin' game markets, I'm not even trying. I've been doing the whole flashcard and whatever thing all year. Spent enough freaking money on that, but I gotta stop on that even for now, just because I got a Game Boy Advance one and a GameCube memory card mod thing. That's enough. Like, I should be able to deal with just playing those games, right? Yeah, Dave sent me, or Cyrus sent me one for the Dreamcast as well. It's an external SD card attachment thing. So I should be good, but it's still like, the urge to buy stuff is too strong. I keep saying it's really hard to judge what I should spend money on when it's all student loans at the moment, largely. I mean, I do get paid for my job. There's, you know, like 8 hours a week right now, so it's very weird because it's hard to budget when it's like, well, this is all payback later, so it's hard to spend it too much on recreational stuff. Although my brother took his freaking student loans and bought an RV, so that was you know, also not good, but damn. Okay, there was chunky bananas down there, so go get them. And then I think, yeah, we do need chunky anyways. A lot of people love it. You also know it has a lot of backtracking. It was a major deal breaker. Okay. Yeah, it's sounding like it had a lot of DK64 influence considering it came after. I feel like this has a lot of backtracking if you don't, like, if you're playing this for the first time, as I know we were back in the day, we had a guidebook. You can read what you want, but trying to, like, determine an order of what to do things in. That was one banana I left behind. Okay. Like, trying to determine an order of what to do things in a more fashion that's, I guess, more ideal, is a little rough. But considering, like, in my mind, I'm like, I remember every golden banana at this point, or, like, how to get them for the most part. It's like I can pretty much plan and say this level that we don't lower the water till a certain point, whereas, like, most people on their first playthrough are going to be having to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, unfortunately. Okay, so that we're actually going to have to get to. Oh, is the capture card freaking out? No, it wouldn't be the capture card, because I'm listening to the gamepad. That was happening last time. No worries, Refraction. Enjoy your meal. He didn't buy schooling with the student loan. Yeah. You know, I'm not going to go there on stream, but yeah, no, not really. Like, yes and no. The student loans here are intended for living costs as well, so you could argue it, but yeah, it's a little much. Isn't the norm for uni to piss away your student loan on stuff you don't need, then do a part-time job to pay off the stuff you really need? America's a little worse with their loans and schooling costs than Canada's, a bit more subsidized, but probably about half as bad. Banjo-Tooie is very fun in a lot of ways and obnoxious in a few others, mostly the backtracking, the overworld stuff. Also know Grunty Industries can go screw itself. I think there was a bit of a delay there. I mean, using your loan for eating. Oh, yeah. Oh, for eating. Yeah. But also, you're right. I should, I don't think you meant that, but we need our sync delay on properly. So right now, we've probably been reacting to things at the wrong time, but I don't think I've had any panic reactions to things, really, so should be fixed. This guy, you can just deck in the face, and he's stunned for long enough to screw away from him. These can be a bit annoying. Yeah, no, like for me, obviously my loans did factor in like paying rent and food and etc. etc. It's really not like I'm really not going to big name universities either. I really don't believe you need to, but that's just me. Is this seriously this simple? So it's geez, I want to say my costs of, let's say, a 3-course semester is what I usually do. Has started at $450 a course, and is probably more up at like 600 in like 6, 7. I don't remember how many years I've been doing it. And geez, I can't do this and talk. This one. So there's that. So let's just say 6, 12, 1800. Then probably another 500 for the materials for those classes. So let's say 2300, and you get about like $7,000 loan, which is now $9 because they added a bunch of COVID relief, and it's too much. And if you're my brother, you get like an extra $2,000 per kid, so he ends up getting. He told me he gets like 16 grand in loans a semester. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, it's a lot, man. Best of luck to you. Yeah, more like community college prices, and they're all like, I don't know, you struggle to find stuff called college here. It's universities, and both the ones I've been to for the names, and you get pretty well-regarded degrees. Like my teaching degree here is going to allow me to teach worldwide, basically, certainly countrywide. Interestingly enough, the last university's teaching degree wouldn't let me teach countrywide and was just province-wide, so it's part of the reason I switched. Okay. Doing better at this time. Oh, that was a close one. Okay. Not a big fan of uni at all, to be honest. It's just a massive money sink. I prefer getting junior trainee positions, building up experience. It's more relevant, more worth than a degree, unless you plan on being a doctor or something. Yeah, well, no, you hit the nail on the head on something I've been arguing for a while. Because I was just, I was at my optometrist the other day, which my friend works at. And she was basically creating a PowerPoint. So she had gotten a job at this it's more of an eye therapy place than an optometry, but so she'd been working there without a degree, and there's a position for her. And through work experience, they will pay for her to get a quick course done, and her on-the-field training, basically, from doing the job, is enough that she didn't, like, need the education, that she just does the course briefly, gets an upgrade. There's a lot of that going on, especially in the trades, and I really wish teaching worked that way. There's really no reason it shouldn't. Like, you can go out and get jobs at, like, youth centers and, like, I don't know, assistant coaching basketball teams or whatever. Like, those kind of things you can do on an entry level, but then it's like, why does that not branch the same way into a point where, like, they can pay to put you through, like, a year of school, and then, like, bam, now you can go be a teacher's assistant, and then you do that for a couple years, they'll put you through a couple years more of school, bam, you're a teacher. It's just, the way it's working, where it's like, I've got to gather X amount of credits before I even enter a teaching program, and there's just, like, no work along the way, is definitely, something I would change if I could. 100%. You could teach basketball, Braxton. You might not get hired if you don't know it, like me. But you can certainly get volunteer positions and branch that into getting paid positions. Have 0 playing skills. Fair enough. Fair enough. Neither do I with basketball, but I did assistant coach it this year as part of my random job description job with the school. So it's kind of like learning on the fly for me as well. Did we not have a Diddy one? No? Okay. Right, because this was the thing. And how to not hit your feet with it. So I don't even know if I have that sometimes. It's not my favorite. I don't know. I find I'm pretty into just about any of them, but I still like the idea of having a goalie present, I think is what drives me nuts about basketball. Okay, Tiny had one. They all have one on that one pier there too as well, though. Some water. But yeah, I do wish there was more of a system for that for teaching. 'Cause right now it's just like, yeah, stack up a lot of loans, put yourself through like 6 years plus of school, and then you can start working. It's like, damn. It's a tough order. It's tough to budget for, because then you're like suddenly budgeting 10 plus years of your life on how you're gonna pay that loan back, afford a house, continue affording the car. It's a fun time, man. I will say. But it's more of that thing where it's like, I did worry about it, but I worry about it more now that we're almost there, right? Didn't worry about it as much before. Canadian basketball is not involved with goalie. I'm saying I prefer, you know, when those sports are those like kind of mirror image fashion on a field, for lack of better term, just a blanket statement them all. I prefer when it's like there's a net and a goalie, I think. Probably because I like playing goalie, like legitimately. But I just like the idea of having them in general too. Although it is satisfying to throw it at a hoop too and have that specific spot to hit, but with a hoop it's always a constant spot, whereas like a goalie it's like the spot you gotta hit's ever changing based on what a human being's doing. There just seems to be more factors to it to me. He's a goalie for everything there, yeah. Well, it is annoying to me because it's like all the sports I play, and even though it's Canada, it's like they don't factor into schools, right? So it's like I can coach people in hockey and baseball. Easy. I played both. But they're just not played in school. It's still like the universal ones that are played in school, which is like basketball, volleyball, soccer, right? Like that's just it. It's just those three, and that's... I'm probably forgetting one, but... It's like that's what's played in high schools pretty much, at least North American-wise, if not globally. But I'm sure in like Europe there's a lot more focus on like the soccer aspect than I don't know. I'm not too picky these days anyways. As COVID's happened, you really can't get into adult recreational sports like I used to, or even just go like play them for fun. So, you know, some of these ones I kind of poo-pooed earlier, like soccer and volleyball, I actually really ended up liking just because I gave them a chance and it was like all I could do. And like we do get involved with the kids. We don't usually have enough for a team, so it's like we're jumping in there as extra bodies usually. In my case especially with basketball and volleyball, like pretty much having to learn them more detailed than what I had previously done. But even my coworker's saying that, the one that's, you know, worked there forever, he's like, yeah, well, we can't play adult sports, so this is kind of a godsend right now. Something, right? Canadian, likes the net and a goalie, must be a hockey fan. I am. Would have been nice to have a goalie to stop all your bad life decisions growing up. Oh my god, that's funny. Used to like hockey, but they ruined the leagues here and broke them in a bunch of tiny ones. Ooh. Well, hockey, the thing is, like, is very much like, as it is a nation treasure here. It's really not as much as you think, especially, certainly on the West Coast. In the West Coast, you're getting a different, like, geographical situation where you're not getting winter on a lot of the coast, like the spot that's most populated, the Fraser Valleys, they call, like Vancouver and area, everything bordering like Washington State. There is no snow. There's not enough snow to like outdoor rink it, so in order to get access to, you know, rinks, it's now got to be indoor, and that's, I can just tell you how much more of a pain that is. Because now you're paying there, you have to have set times, it's usually just public skate where everyone skates in a freaking circle the whole time. Yeah, it's not great. Moving out where I did, more interior-wise, we did get an outdoor rink this year, and I was there plenty. It was great. It's been about 12 years since I've been able to do that. You draw the line of actually having to participate. See, I don't think you really would have to in a normal situation, because I'm at an art school and, you know, the people we can convince to come out in a co-ed fashion over several grades is not enough to make two teams. Certainly in a year like this where you're not seeing other schools. Yeah, we're participating. Absolutely. It's not a bad setting to learn in, obviously, either, though, because you're with high schoolers, so... I mean, you don't have the hugest advantage, but you do have an advantage just in the sense of maybe athleticism. And, you know, like, a lot of them are learning, too. It's all a pretty good vibe at the one I'm at. But if I was at, like, a serious high school, like, they do have hockey teams for some, but what I was going to say with hockey is the cost accessibility is not great. You think about something like soccer, it's like a lot of stuff's provided for you, but really you need to buy like shin pads and you know, like soccer cleats. It's like, okay, that's two pieces of equipment. Ice, like full-on ice hockey, it's you know, you got to get skates, you got to get shin pads that are heavy duty. You're dealing with giant rubber things, or like hard rubber things. They're getting wailed everywhere. If you've ever seen a puck, they're pretty brutal. Helmets, sticks, multiple sticks, because you'll break them. Those ain't cheap now. It's very much become like a rich man's sport. Knee pads, elbow pads, body armor, tape for all of it. Pretty much like a certain tape to pretty much keep a lot of it together. To keep your hockey socks above your knee and shin pads. Yeah, it's a big money sink. Absolutely, especially if you're a goalie and then you got like extra blocker, glove, giant frickin' honkin' pads on your legs, specific skates. You're probably talking a $1,400 bill to be a goalie, say. Not a sports person yourself? Like, no deal, bro. Okay, what did I miss here? I don't know if I want a life goalie around. I reach for my beer and he jumps in and whacks my head away with the flat stick. I feel the most popular sports are the ones that are cheapest for the average person to get into. Yeah, it's like soccer's pretty good for that, so it's pretty big here. Well, seriously though, you are. Soccer's pretty popular around the world. It is very accessible. You can play soccer with if you don't have a ball, you can, a lot of those third worlds use other things other than a ball. You can pretty much make soccer happen with anything. I used to play hockey as a kid. It's expensive to buy all the equipment. It even takes a college degree just to put all that stuff on. Yeah, most of the time the parents are helping the kids for God knows how long, at least when I played. I mean, I would have played outdoor in Edmonton when I was, I want to say 7 or 8, sporadically until I was 13, 14. I did a lot more baseball or softball, to be honest. Which I know was also a thing. I remember we did softball, and that's what existed. And there was huge leagues, lots of tiers for it, recreationally, competitively, etc. Didn't matter. There was a lot of softball available. That's just what was happening in the part of Edmonton I was in. That ship is janking out. Then when I moved to BC, all of a sudden, like, I remember we were in gym class once when because I moved to BC when I was still in high school. Just by a bit. And we were in gym class once, and we're like, okay, we're going to play softball, and everybody's bitching, oh, softball's for girls, only girls play softball. I'm like, wait, what? Is that a thing here? It's like, I don't know, everybody's played friggin' softball where I grew up, and I still don't love that argument, just in a general sense of like, oh, something's for girls or boys. I mean, that inherently, but also in the sense that it was like, the implication being that it's easier. Anyone here that knows softball, like baseball, I know there's lots of different kind of pitches, but every pitch you throw is basically overhand. Obviously, different amount of fingers on the ball, whatever. But you're throwing it overhand. You are just doing the throw overhand that I find super simple. In frickin' softball, you do that underhand pitch, sure, but I think maybe it's fastball when it starts being the windmill pitch, they called it. But, like, you have to, like, frickin' do this choreography where you, like, I remember it was, like, you put your hands together, you, like, bring your right hand down if you're right-handed, and then you like do this big windmill step where you're like sideways and then your right foot slides together at the same time as your... Fuck, man. It was like, seriously, the last year I played softball when I was 15, 16, the best season we ever had, by the way, around the league for 15, 16-year-olds at that point, there was, I want to say, 3 tiers and... 5 tiers and 3 teams, and we were in the top tier by the end. The thing is, over those, let's see, 15 teams, I swear to God, there was 5 pitchers in the league, maybe 6, that could do that frickin' windmill pitch and do it accurately. 3 of those players were on my team. I was the 3rd pitcher on my team, but I could do that pitch. I'm going to say with 2/3 of the time I would hit the right spot. That is not an easy pitch. Screw anyone saying softball, or maybe it's fastball again at that point with the windmill pitch, is easy. It is not easy. It's, oh my god. That's my rant, but I always love that. I don't know if that's a thing in other places anyways, where it's, hey, softball's for girls, it's easy. Fuck off. It's not easy. I will die on this hill. But no, yeah, like softball's the one I did a ton of. Like I said, that last year was awesome. We like it was all done. What do you want to call it? Like district wise, I want to say like different little areas. Like mine was Greenfield, and sometimes we'd have enough for a Greenfield team. Sometimes there wouldn't be enough kids in Greenfield to make a team, so you'd end up in like Yellowbird or Blue Quill. I'm surprised I remember these like counties' names. But I was on Yellowbird and Blue Quill teams, I know, a number of times. But we did have a Greenfield team that year. We had 3 of the 6 pitchers in the entire freaking league. And we got all the way to the finals. There was 3 teams. The part that bothered me is we got all the way there, and it was like pretty casual, but we were top tier. So, basically, you thought of it as a girl sport here, at least when you were younger. Oh, and office coworkers, fair enough. I think it is viewed as more casual thing, but like the thing is, if you're doing that one pitch, sure, where you just kind of like bring it up behind you and just like bowl it towards the person, basically, you know, just like a one swift motion. That windmill pitch, no. Go and learn that. That is not an easy skill to learn. I will die on that hill. Plus, that shit still goes fast. I don't care what anyone says. I know the ball's bigger. That's probably the argument, but like I don't know. I think I'd rather get hit with a little like. I don't know what, like 2.5-inch diameter ball than like a 5-inch one, to be fair. But yeah, so like when we did this final year, we got to the finals, and there was this other team that was full of a bunch of nice kids. We played them a bunch in this final tournament, and then there was this rich team, and this would have been I want to say, what was it, 15, 16? So it was like 2008. I want to say. Let's just say 2008 or 2009 is the last year I played. I've got to make sure I know where I'm going here also. Let's check out what we're doing here before we get off on a tangent. Tiny's... Okay, you know what? We need to go do everyone's on that one pier. Got it. Let's see if that teleports me there. So we're playing this one team called Wellington. They were also in the tournament. This was now a rich city. This was around the time those like reflective, you know, rainbowy, bluey, green, whatever like sunglasses were popular. We show up and all these kids have these like sunglasses that are like this brand new craze at the time. They're all wearing them. They're all like wearing matching uniforms. My dad and my brother were at this game, the first one we played against them in this tournament, and you know, they were being pretty obnoxious. For, I don't know, like 15-year-olds in a pretty casual league. They were sitting there, and it was like someone like me would walk up, and I wore like glasses at the time. I looked like a pretty nerdy kid. I was probably like 110. I was not. I wasn't. I'm not a big person. I'm much bigger than 110 now. But walk up to the plate, and the coach is yelling, calling everyone in. It's like, everybody come in. Of course, I was a good baseball player, a softball player, so. Me and probably, like, we had a couple other heavy hitters. There was a guy that was smaller than me that launched this thing really far, too. But 3 of us launched... They called us in on this one guy because he was kind of overweight. They called it on me, probably because I looked nerdy or something. They called this in on the other guy because he was just a tiny human being. But we were 3 of the best hitters on our team, probably. So we all whale this thing, like, above their heads. And when we see them in the next game... They're walking us. They're literally like, they're doing the windmill pitch, and the ball is slamming against the ground, and they're walking us. And my dad, my brother is super competitive, my older brother, so he was just screaming at them. Like, are you kidding? These kids are like 15. Like, why are you being such tryhards? So they're walking us. They would not let me hit after that, basically. It was a pretty good feeling, but it was pretty funny. So after this fact, this whole tournament takes place. We get 3rd. We were last place of the 3 teams in Division 8, which really bothered me because I'd done so many years, and I'm not one to be like, oh, I'm going to be happy with a bronze medal, but, you know, the fact that we were in Tier A that year was the only time I'd done that. It was the best team we ever had. Didn't even get a bronze medal for it. They only put 3 teams per tier in the tournament. But still, man, like, come on. I have nothing to prove I was in Tier A. Sucks. These guys approached the coach, who was very obnoxious throughout the entire tournament, approached my dad after the tournament and was like, "We want to sign your son for next year." My dad basically told him to pound sand, literally. He didn't believe in how competitive it was getting either. It was such Richville. It's like, you don't sign the players. The players were all based off where they lived in this league, so it was like competitive, but it was pretty casual. Fun story though. It is now, because I don't know, it's probably my shining sports ball moment. That, well, I mean, falling short still. The fact they wanted to like sign me, I wouldn't have done it. I don't even think at that age I'd be like, "Ooh, somebody wants me." It's like, no, they were dinks. No thanks. That is, unfortunately, ended up being the last year I played. There wasn't enough players in Greenfield the next year for the next whatever, like Bantam or whatever the heck it would have been called for 16, 17-year-olds. There wasn't enough in Greenfield. There wasn't enough in Yellowbird or Blue Quill that they had to basically go to like this bad area of town where my brother had previously played for that coach, I think, was what happened. And my parents were like, "We really don't like this coach. He's an asshole. You can try a different sport, or you can try this if you want." So I opted to not. I got into bowling at that point. The Richers. The Richie Riches. They have dollar signs on their uniform? No, but Braxton, they had those cool kid reflective rainbowy sunglasses. That's what I remember standing out. It does sound like a premise for the 80s movie. It really does. Only in the 80s movie... You know what? I was going to say in the 80s movie we'd win in the end, but we didn't. But honestly, the other team that was there was nice. I remember watching their game because I was at my sister's game or something. She was also playing after we got knocked out, and it was the finals with the other two teams. And I went and watched and cheered on the other team. The one that wasn't the Richie Rich one. I think there was a kid I knew on that other team too, to be fair. Okay, so we had DK there, so we need to get somebody else. A fun story, though. I haven't told that one in a while. Oakleys? Would they be Oakleys? I don't know. It's just all I remember is the reflective rainbowy. Like sometimes they were more like orangey, reddy based, but like the color would change looking at them. I feel like it was a big thing around that time, and I don't see a lot of them anymore. But yeah, that's what it was. I know aren't Oakleys just more like a kind of sporty, stylized, you know, black lens sunglass? My dad loves them. I know. Oh, is it coming back? Oh. Did we get you? I can't tell. Okay. A bunch that were rainbow. Yeah, no, this is mid-2000s though, right? So I don't know if it would have been a thing all the way from 90s to then. I think fashion changed enough. Honestly, looking back at fashion in the 2000s is probably like, to me, that's one of the worst eras to look back at. I'm not like a big fashion guy, but I can appreciate, like, I don't know, clothes looks good on people. It's just like 2000s was very plain. Just kind of like bulky and plain. Strike anybody else that way? Maybe just in the school systems, I guess. That's obviously I would have been in the school systems in mid-2000s. Or 2000s in general. Oh, and people would just be using knockoffs. Yeah, no, it probably was not. I don't think I ever had that. I remember when the Animal Crossing New Horizons came out, I was wearing some because I got them as like one of my first things. I was like, this is very old style 2000s, isn't it? And everybody's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, whatever, I'm doing it. Collect all the coins. Okay, we got a modified version of this where we have to do above and below water. Why are we swimming so? Oh, come on. But yeah, baseball's one I want to get back into. I was really hoping we could this year. Honestly, I'm pretty casual about it. Like, I wanted to have it like co-ed at this point, co-ed, like all ages, whatever. Keep league standings or whatever and have tournaments, but you know, I want the vibe to be pretty chill. My grandpa was always doing slow pitch, and we'd come watch it up here at the lake. I know there's a bunch of it out here. It's just obviously not right now. But it's slow pitch, I think I mentioned. So that one's a bit different. That's honestly at this point that's kind of more appealing to me too. Than not really scared of getting hit by the ball, but it would be nice, you know, not to be walking away with welts all the time, or here and there, anyways. I say as the guy that would intentionally shot block in hockey back in the days, so things have changed, man. Okay, DK is 100% on this one. Chunky is not. Bananas. Tiny. Wait, Chunky also, he has his golden bananas, he just needs bananas. Tiny needs golden bananas and bananas. Lanky needs golden bananas and bananas on blueprint. And Diddy just needs bananas. So Diddy and Chunky bananas. No, Diddy and Tiny. Diddy and Chunky bananas. Tiny, golden bananas, bananas, bit of everything. Tiny and Lanky, bit of everything. Got it. Yeah. Ooh, speaking of bananas. Look for him around here. We can probably face the boss at this point, realistically. I think we probably will get on to World 5. Like, yeah, we're at 9. Yeah, I think we'll actually get a hefty weight in World 5. I didn't think so. Guess I overestimated how much this one takes for time. I mean, I'm probably not doing it as fast now, because it's like trying to dual focus on storytelling and remembering where things are is a little tougher, but it's all good. At least on the cleanup sense. 2000 hits and decades lost their flavor. Yeah, a little bit. 90s was the last distinctive decade, and even that was a bit watered down. Well, I feel like the modern day, it's just a lot of that older stuff coming back. Like, I know, like, I don't know, like, say I seriously don't keep track of these things much anymore, but, like, I know jean jackets and stuff came back, and that was big when I was, like, real young in the 90s. Like, a lot of, like, jean-based things. Plaid was a thing in, like, 2010s. That was a 90s... No, that wasn't a 90s thing. Because Al in Home Improvement was made fun of for plaid constantly. It was funny. I remember we were watching that in, like, 2010 or something. It's like, well, no, he'd be looking the style now. Well, that's still in. I don't know. I still like the way, like, plaid and jean jackets and stuff look, personally. So I don't know who we've taken in these. Did we take Tiny in here? God, I'm sorry if we did, but I don't think so. I think decades, I don't know, like, we were having that discussion in one of my theater history classes where she was going backwards through decades, all the way back to 1910, I think. But she was also talking about, like, what things were important in the world. It was a very nicely laid out class and kind of a interesting thing to do. So we started with, like, the 2010s, and it was, like, the biggest thing that really came to the 2010s is, when you think about it, is kind of what she pointed out was the almost complete, I don't want to say necessity, but the fact that pretty much everybody has a smartphone at that point. Like, it's not just, you know, like, I don't know, like 2008, I think her point is, like, some people start getting, like, the iPhone as it started to exist and whatever, but around, like, 2010 to 2015, probably more so, people started all having smartphones, and pretty much at this point everyone does. I really don't use mine much, but, like, that's kind of, like, more in fashion or anything. Say that's a thing. I think the fashion's more like what, I think it's usually what people do in their hair and stuff, but, like, obviously, like, man buns and stuff, big thing. Still, I feel like it's more just carve your own style of what you like. Honestly, when it comes to, like, facial hair, I change my opinion on whether or not I want it, like, all the time. I have it again, but usually I like to be clean shaven. But sometimes I'm just like, no, it's looking good, but we're gonna, you know, sculpt it a certain way, which is what it is right now. Oh my god. 2008, 2009. I think smartphone. Okay, because the one I had end of high school. I graduated in 2013. So the one I had, graduating high school was probably my first smartphone in 2013. Because I'd say the one before that was like half smart. Then I had that Sony garbage that literally worked itself probably for the next couple years. Then I had this HTC thing. I really never gave a crap about my phone. I just grabbed whatever was like the best plan. So ended up being an iPhone 6S this last time. I think when in 2017 when like what iPhone 8s were out, so it was like the iPhone 6S was like basically free with whatever deal I was getting at that point. Probably wasn't actually free. They always say that, but it's like it's free now, but it's part of your like monthly plan, but it's definitely paid for at this point. Bottom line, I really don't use my phone enough that when I went in this last time, like it's 2017 to now, and I did check in the fall to be like, well, I don't know if there's like a free upgrade at this point. But it's like nothing was really wrong with the phone. I don't use it a lot, and basically they wanted to put an minimum $800 phone in on my plan over the course of months. And I was just like, no, can we just stick to this phone? Thankfully, I got a lot better data plan. I basically have unlimited data for cheaper than what I was paying for. I think like my 2017 deal was like 200 megabytes. And then every 200 after that was like $15 or something stupid. Okay, so we did... we do... oh god, who did we do here? Heimdall, welcome, sir. I didn't make a pun this time and you're here, damn. With kind of a beard. Yeah, I know, mine's more like I get the beard out of laziness, sculpt it, and then I get really annoyed with how it feels after a certain length. And I'll shave it. So that's kind of more what I do. Yeah, I more like sculpt mine usually. Like the best one I've found is like shave the sideburns and just leave like the goatee and the straight out kind of line, and then you shave the neck. So you kind of just got the goatee and like the line going up to the, I don't know, the change of the cheekbone or chin bone or whatever the fuck. That's usually what I do. I just like the shadow. I don't really like the beard. I've had to have it for plays, of course, too. Diddy, we've done. Get lanky. First phone was HTC. I think it's the same one I still have kicking around. 128 megabyte. Yeah, it was ridiculous. That happened on mine too. Well, the thing is, like right now, I'm struggling a bit with like being in the school and stuff now, and like certainly when you're working in the high school, it's like, well, I really don't want to be mistaken for one of these kids. I think I'm beyond that point, but more like anything I can do to certainly add that distinction. Certainly high schoolers can grow the beard, but I've not seen too many high schoolers that can actually grow a beard. And I really can't either. It's pretty thin. It's enough that you could call it a beard, but it's definitely not like not a very thick beard. Plus I get that dang Scottish gene. I have no like ginger in my hair. I'm pure like brown and black hair kind of changing or whatever. But when I grow the beard, I get the red hairs coming out. So where the hell is that coming from? Just like this slight tinge of it. It's like, oh, it must be the Scottish, I guess. Oh, I was reading a funny... I don't put much merit into those things. I'm Canadian, but like there's backgrounds. It was a funny thing that like some other country was posting a thing. I was hanging out with my buddies from Europe on a Discord call, and they were like posting it was like a Reddit post or something, and it's like, I like how North Americans treat their background like Pokemon types. Like, oh, that's my Italian side coming out on like behavior at least. Because like a lot of times, like in my case, we have done the family tracing. It's like the Scottish immigration to Canada would have happened 5-6-ish generations ago. French part of me like 3 or 4 generations ago. And then it's mostly British and German are like very small factors of my makeup. But yeah, we know our exact makeup apparently. Which I kind of put an asterisk on because it's like, what do we define Scottish as or German as or whatever? It's like it would have been a makeup of a bunch of different things that came from original humans anyways. It's fun to look at, but no. Apparently it's 2/3 Scottish, 1/4 French, and then the rest, what is it, like 1/16 I think, British and German. In other words, white and Canadian. White and Canadian, brown eyes, brown hair, very basic. I think we did DKs, but if we had, you know what? Because we could just check and be like, yeah, we have 100% here. Okay, let's do this whole shindig again. Chunky's got that. Tiny is good, other than a golden banana. Lanky needs a blueprint and bananas. Freaking, like, everybody still needs bananas, I think. Everybody but DK needs bananas. From somewhere. What's your beard starts going to shave it properly? Yeah, no, I usually use clippers and then the, you know, disposable razors. Beard is multicolored. You have dark brown hair. Deers goes like black, blonde, gray, ginger. That's awesome. My gramps did it. So we kind of found out then. We kind of already knew. I still never got that my dad's side's apparently is 100% Scottish. Just like, you're telling me nowhere along the gene pool, someone breeded with, you know, Germany or something. I don't know. Just, again, a lot of those things. It's like, well, original humans would have all been from one place anyways. So it's like, I don't know why or how they really draw a line on what's what, I guess. If that makes sense, but it's interesting to look at, certainly. We did get DK's, yeah, we got DK's blueprint, for sure. I think what we probably want to look at is like some down here. 85.7% British, that's very specific. 10% French, German, some other random Scandinavian stuff. Yeah. The funny thing is, not enough of my family's actually even been to Scotland, say. My brother did it, my oldest brother, on his honeymoon as part of their Europe trip. So he's been back, but it's definitely on my radar. I don't think I'd want to live there, but there's definitely a lot of European places I want to scout out living once I get the teaching degree, because it's apparently one of the best things you can do, and I really just, I don't know, I feel like, you know, COVID aside, assuming, it's just something that you should do when you don't have attachments. It's like, I got family, it's like I can come back. I can do a stint in, I don't know, England or Denmark, or, I don't know, man. I'll spin the roulette. Whoever wants to pick me up as a full-time teacher right away, it's like, okay, we're gonna go there. Hopefully we don't have to learn another language. I'm really not opposed, but just probably be easier if the country's more kind of like English is primary, and then I definitely do and can learn something else and want to, but I don't really want the full culture shock of, like, not knowing anything, if that makes sense. It's probably the only job I can land in that sense is, like, English language learning, or whatever they're calling it now. It's all very strange. Most of Europe speaks... Yeah, so, yeah, most of Europe does speak English, so I'm pretty sure I'm good. I'm more fascinated in, like, Scandinavias and stuff. Other hockey-playing countries, no, but that is part of it, actually, too. But I think it would be... I don't know if I had to, like, list a specific one. Probably, like, Finland. See, like, Sweden, Switzerland would be up there, but I'm pretty sure their cost of living's worse than what it is here, so... it's hard to say. Something like Denmark. See, I'd have to do my research. I'd have to, like, throw my resume out there, see where I could go abroad. Know if then, like, kind of research if I can do that area, with my abilities, of whatever it may be. Okay. Does that complete you, sir? No, blueprint, right. At least bananas. I think we're... basically there on bananas. No, yeah, okay. Chunky needs to get bananas. Swedish easier to learn? Oh, jeez, I don't know if I know Swedish at all. I should know some French. But I don't really want to do France, and the French I teach you in Canada is apparently wildly different than... I don't know if it's just accentuation or actual, like, dialects different from actual France. But they very much do not care for each other. From everything I've been able to tell. It's like, alright, well. I don't know, I've done enough intro French through all the years they made you do it in Canada to know it's not really one I want to necessarily learn. It would be very useful if I'm staying in Canada. It's a very useful asset to have as a Canadian teacher. And I don't mind it. I just... having all the different, lay, la, like, the different, basically ones for he, she, them, a group of... the pizza's a female, the table's a female, why are tables and pizzas gendered, etc. Like, there's some weird things with French. Those are specifics I do remember. So, Jag talar inte svenska is the only thing I know and saves me from most embarrassment. The vocabulary is smaller. It means I don't speak Swedish, if you wondered. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I butchered it there, probably. Gendered languages is it makes it a little more difficult for sure. I know they say English is one of the hardest ones to learn, but I feel like, is it fair to say French? And I think Spanish does that too, doesn't it? Well, I think it's more in like señorito, señorita, like the actual words themselves, not the like, I don't know, precursor, preface words that like French has. Although I think Spanish has like L and whatever before words. I really don't know Spanish. We actually did take it once because we had a Spanish immigrated teacher. I forget what she was from. Somewhere very interesting. It was from like original Yugoslavia or something, and she knew Spanish. Like I mean, she was Canadian, but like she came from I think Yugoslavia broke into like 4 different countries. I remember her telling us about like some war that went on. It was that place that broke into like 4 different countries. Not Czech, but you know, like there's something else there I think in Europe. But anyway, she had us take Spanish for like a year. But again, I really didn't put much merit back on it in school in general. It was like talking, I think it was grade 6.
Welcome to bonus stage.
Definitely drove you insane in Spanish class. In Spain, by the way, that's a word now. Many older languages use gender. Portuguese does it, and Russian. Really? Language should be really hard. Well, yeah, hi, Bill. You're in Sweden, right? So what's tell me about Sweden. What's the kind of language low down there? Is it like everybody's primarily Swedish, but a lot of people know English? Because I know my buddy Alex in the Netherlands there says it's like pretty much everybody knows English and Dutch, 100%. It's Germanic. Think about it in this way. Spoken and written language in itself a technology, and probably the most important technological advancement of humankind. Yeah, it's true. Well, like, because like English in itself adopts a lot of words into its own language that are not English. Like, let's take, isn't fiancé a French word? And it has the accentuation on it that we maybe eliminate from spelling it. Say if we're just writing pure English, but if you're to properly write fiancé, you'd have the whatever, the E with the freaking slash above it, right? Like things like that, English is adopted, making it more confusing. And English is a bastardization of German, French, and Latin. Interesting. No, I definitely want to learn something at some point. It's just like, for me, it's like, I feel like it's such a struggle to learn any language that it's like, I have to pick one because I don't think I would do better at learning more than one. So it's like, which one do I want it to be? And then it's like, oh, it's probably got to be 3 because I don't want to live in France. But I should learn French to teach in Canada. So it's like, there's got to be a 3rd one in there somewhere that's like whatever European place I hopefully spend some time in. You have some French words too? We've been mixed with Normans, Vikings, and Romans, etc. Yeah. History to me is fascinating. That's why I have a history minor. Although I'm disappointed. The class I'm starting tomorrow is History of Europe from 1800 onward. But you know what's really disappointing about that is that I was looking at the syllabus and it's like literally all about World War I and II, which is fine. Those are very interesting, but if anybody remembers, I specifically took Canadian military history through the wars, you know, 1, 2, Korean War, Cold War, kind of modern Afghanistan stuff. So that's what was in the Canadian one. And then my brother and I specifically did the Great War class, which was, you know, everything surrounding World War I, because I don't feel like we get taught enough about World War I. It's all about II. So that was a very interesting class. Lanky does need a blueprint still. Okay. I think that's it. Lanky needs a blueprint. Where the frick's the blueprint? Blueprint for Lanky. Blueprint for Lanky. It's somewhere really strange, I feel like. English wasn't invented, it was stolen. I can believe that, for sure. He didn't have it in there. He has... You know what? It's probably somewhere in, like, the early areas here that are not part of the water world. I don't know why they don't ledge grab. Why are you not ledge grabbing? Come on. There you go. See, now you're doing it. Oh my god, buddy. That's what I hate about having the water low sometimes. Grab the ledge! It's not about the camera not working tonight. It's about Lanky not grabbing the freaking ledge. See, he'll do... Okay, I was thinking it was maybe the bee attack I was doing in the air, but... Thank you. Okay. Brax is pretty good at learning Swedish. Don't remind me, that's how we got taught in history class in school, was 2 wars, like nothing happened at any other time. Not like his arms aren't long enough. Yeah, exactly. Brax knows what's up. Stun that guy. No, I did, like, honestly, war history is definitely my brother's thing. My other brother. So before COVID happened, we were taking that Canadian military history class together, and then the World War I class. So it was definitely up his alley. I find pretty much any history fascinating, even like video game history. I know a ton on that I probably shouldn't age-wise a lot of times, right? But like, I love video games. I love computer history. I love history. So I've taken a lot of history just in general. But yeah, I'm just a little disappointed in this one. It's like, on one hand, it's going to be really easy because, like, we did cover the wars pretty good through those 2 classes. Not, like, specifically for what this is going to be covering. It just seemed like it was going to be, like, the formation of Hitler and Nazi Germany happening, whereas, like, that maybe wasn't as covered as much in the 2 I took, right? But there's going to be things in there that's, like, kind of fills gaps in my knowledge about the wars. I do like it. And it's also going to, you know, play well that I have resources and knowledge about said wars already from other classes. Problem is, with the Great War class, that was cut short to COVID. So we didn't get through everything, but there was definitely things I learned, like the fact that there was a genocide in that war. I did not know, was it the Turkish on the Armenians? That was a thing. I didn't know that before that class. That was a sad class, damn. I mean, obviously, but... Hell, that was brutal. Where else would... You know what? I think he might be in one of the things. We might want to raise the water again. Just to be safe. I feel like it is somewhere quite strange, if I'm honest. The other brother, not the one who spent his... No, this is the brother that spent his loan on an RV. I have a brother that's a plumber, and the oldest... the second oldest brother is the one I went to school with for a couple years, which is really cool because we're 4 years apart. It's not often you get to, like, you know, share classes with someone like your sibling. It's 4 years in age difference coming in. Again, a little more with my sister. It's 2 years difference. And then obviously never with my brother. It's 6 years difference. But I mean, we kind of share sports ball together. So honestly, I have the most. I love all my siblings. I get along great with a lot of them in different aspects. My sister does a lot of dance and performance, which gives us a lot to talk about, like the theater, my theater major and stuff, and that kind of aspect of me. I don't remember, Lanky's is in here. My oldest brother, sports ball, a lot of similar values and morals. And then the other brother, a lot of video games. Damn it, Ken. I have 3 siblings. Quite a few. Depending. Again, like, moving around, Edmonton, it was like kind of Richville where we lived. We were seen as a very large family, having like 4 kids involved. Especially like 2 years apart for every single one of us. Then when I moved to, you know, smaller town BC, Lower Mainland, it's like I met people that were like, I have 13 siblings. And I'm like, damn, do your parents not use birth control? Like, Jesus Christ. But no, we were having 3 siblings was not a big deal where I did move to. Certainly not where I am now either. I've lived many places within Canada. Okay, so that should be everybody. It should be boss time. You're in the middle of 3? Yeah, I'm the youngest. Obviously. Oddly enough, I don't know, it's kind of funny. I end up being the tallest. I would argue the most mature in a lot of aspects, except for maybe the oldest brother, which is obvious because he basically had to, you know, do a lot of old brother shit and take care of most of us, so differing aspects. No, I got a good family. It's a good time all around. My sister is just kind of like definitely the life begins at 30 crowd, but she got her certified to be a paramedic, or at least enter the course, I think. One of 2 people that took the exam that got approved. So that happened today. Just on a random topical thing that I care about, but probably not a lot of other people. But no, it's an awesome job for her. She's always been a high energy, high octane person. It makes a lot of sense. Good lord. You're youngest of 2, yeah. Yeah, no, my family's not happy I'm taller than them. We always blame it because I didn't drink coffee until I was 24. Like, literally ever. It's like an old wives' tale, right? That like the caffeine stunts your growth, but I didn't really have the caffeine. I still like, I drank coffee from 24 through 24, 23, 24. I quit again moving here. I'll let him pay first. And now I'm kind of drinking it again if I need it, so hopefully that doesn't spiral out of like needing it every day again. Definitely did get to that point. Being tall means your feet stick out of the end of your bed and you have to crouch under the shower head. Don't you know it, sir? Oh man. What are you, Brax? I'm 6 feet even, so it's not like terrible, but yeah, it is the tallest mark. Save for my grandfather, who was 6'2". He's shrunk because that happens in life when you get old enough. So I'm currently the tallest. I think he's down to 5. He's 6 or 5'11". How much he's shrunken. Spine curvature and whatever happens when you're, geez, what is he? 89. So tall person problems. Started drinking coffee at age 14. I did pretty good on the not drinking coffee aspect for a long time. I think there's definitely a time and a place for me now. 6 feet even. I love being 6 feet even. It's easiest to say. How tall are you? 6 feet? It's not like 6 feet 11 or something. There's just less words involved. You prefer to be short. You'll never bump your head on a door. Oh, you're 5'3". Okay, so you've got the opposite spectrum. It does have its perks for sure. Don't pick me up. I don't think I could. I'm only pushing 155 today, Brex. That's putting on the weight and working out last few months. I've gone up from 140 to 155. So hell yeah. Goal is seriously simply like 165. I'm good at that. But I've been 140 for too long. Pretty much been 140, 145 all of adulthood. I was 165 in high school when I was doing lots of sports ball for fun. So pretty much that's where the goal comes from. It's like, well, I was 165 once and that never felt better. So Zeds go, okay. I could never get bossed by this boss as a kid, so I couldn't see World 5 It's part of the reason World 5 is my favorite. It's because when I finally beat this guy, World 5 is such a pleasant world. In the daytime, it's got a night-day gimmick, but it's, how the hell do I get stuck on like that tiny thing? Damn. Being a short has advantages, but you can't reach stuff, so swings and roundabouts, I adapt. Well, there's a thing, too, for me with, like, I don't think I'd want to be taller than 6 feet, because most, being taller usually means more, bodily problems and less life expectancy, right? That more comes in, like, the 6'7" plus territory more so, but I think it's a bit of a factor everywhere. No, 6 feet to me always feels like a good mark. I'm biased, but it feels like a good mark. Oh god. It is funny I got 6 feet though, because right, that's outgrowing both parents. So I think we're talking 5'9" and I think 5. You know, I think Dad's only 5'11" to be fair. Somewhere between 5'9" and 5'11". Oldest brother's 5'9", second oldest brother's 5'11", sister's 5'3", or something. 5'1", no, she's 5'1", and my mom's like 5'3" or 5'1", or something. Ow! I love how this boss is just Superman 64 in a boat. You will zap this terrifying pufferfish. I think that's the fish it is. By going through some rings. Actually, you know what this is more like? Travis, if you're still around. Remember we had to do all the threading rings or whatever it's called in Hydro Thunder Hurricane? All those stages where you had to... Was it the ring challenge where you do the same stages but you'd have to... The more rings you got, the less your time trial ended up being. It was really fun. It's another game I really want to revisit, honestly. I feel like it's probably less thought about because it was an Xbox Live Arcade title. Shoot. Yeah, the ring stuff. Like, it was a solid game. It was a solid sequel to Hydro Thunder. I think I like it more than Hydro Thunder, the original. But hard to say. Like, that one had more of a less arcadey feel where you had some more stuff that you could hang on to or whatever, collect. There was those collectibles too. Oh god, he's got like remote mine fish after me as well. I think that probably spawned as far away as possible. I think it was meant to go clockwise. Oh, we got it. Notice the rings are getting smaller. Okay. Oh god. There's homing fish after me. And he flies away. Braxton's couple step stools. You know you really hate the standard height stinks. Could use one. Not only am I kind of short. Yeah, aren't you 5'7" or so? Is that? I think we talked about. I also have somewhat disproportionately short arms too. I can't reach some things I feel I should. It hurts your back to do dishes. Yeah, fair. Like raptor arms. Braxosaurus. That needs to be an emote now. People have called them T-Rex arms. You have short, like, how much shorter is just a little bit, you said, Zed? Top 50. Yeah, no, I got a couple of top... Didn't I? I got, like, top 15 or 10 or something on a couple of those, I think. Oh, now you grab the ledge. You just come straight out of the boss door and grab the ledge. Alright, yeah, 946. We're definitely starting World 5 today. It's my favorite world. Again, I couldn't get past... This boss is actually the only thing, Sorry, I'm trying to think, we'll want Diddy. Frickin' train of thought. Yeah, because World 4, you only need that boss key to unlock World 5, because you unlock 3 and 4 at the same time. You can technically skip on World 3's boss until the end of the game. Which I have done in a playthrough. I believe my first one, because that is, in my mind, the hardest boss that's not K-Rool. You used to play the shit out of the Hydro Thunder. You don't have a copy of it now. Oh yeah, that did have console ports. I'm sorry. I have it on Dreamcast. I mean, I don't have it on Dreamcast, but I have it on Dreamcast, quotations. I have it on Midway Arcade Treasures 3 as well. I think that version's a little better on the Xbox original. It's pretty solid. I do want to go through both of those again. Honestly, boat racing and like watercraft racing games in general are one I like that aren't very explored. You've been lurking while watching old wrestling stuff. Yeah, emphasis on the old wrestling stuff, eh? Hopefully it's enjoyable. 5'8". Okay, I wasn't far off. Short enough to be noticeable anyways. Long sleeve, shirt sleeves, like to bunch up on you. It's probably a little better. I think I maybe got the opposite problem. A lot of those, you know, you get like cuffs on a blazer or whatever, like a suit, and it's usually like, I'm usually by default, or a hoodie. I'm just looking at mine now. Even my hoodie. Cuffs are like coming a little short in my wrist, right? I don't know if that showed up. Blocked the cat cam. Which world had King Cutout as the boss? Yeah, that's the Horror World 7. Dreamcast quotation. It's totally not on a CDR with you know, Sharpie on it. Did not expect an arm, a random arm. Well, it is right there. That's, you know, that's why the cat sits here. She's like right next to me. Oh, she loves her pets. I'm not giving enough cat attention. It's like this cat cam's like the holiday fireplace. Like, take a shot every time you see the arm come in to pet the cat. Take a shot every time you see the arm come in to stoke the fire. I don't know if anyone ever did that, but it is a thing. At least I remember. You know, we're gonna take a little bathroom break. We'll be right back. Oh, I should have grabbed water while I was at it. Oh, have a good night, Johannes. But I didn't miss you already. Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to pop out the chat window because I forgot to do that today. I was like, why am I having to scroll chat so much today? It's because it's on the tiny dashboard version. I usually inflate it as big as I can. Your brother would burn games such as Space Channel 5 to CDs and play them on Dreamcast. Dreamcast seems so exotic to you. Really? I mean, I see that at one point. Yeah, I work in the morning. Yeah, I hear you, Johannes. I got class in the morning again, obviously. I'm gonna grab some water here. It'll take 2 seconds. It's because it's almost out, and hydration is important. Totally is one of those things. I could just have a dedicated cat stream channel. No, it's not as much a thing. I know I talked about this once. Travis, you might actually remember this. It's a really obscure name to bring up from our forum we were on back in the day, but it was like Guinea Pig 64. Remember, she had this was like 2009. She had a website that was just before streaming, I guess, but it was like 24/7, just camera pointed in a room towards guinea pigs. And there was like, I think there was like 3 guinea pigs in this room. Honestly, I've talked about before, those are fascinating pets I would love to have again. Because like the amount I think that I remember reading in books that we just didn't know on how to like raise guinea pigs. At least us specifically in my family, but like just in general, man, like it sounds like a lot of fun to kind of do it yourself guinea pig cages. If you had the spare room, they're definitely social creatures, so we always had like 1, but you're supposed to have more than that. Like we didn't do terrible, but you know, wasn't the best. Which there's streams of just kittens, yeah. You should do that. What, for your frog, Braxton? Or do you mean get some guinea pigs? Let's see. I think there's something behind here too. Is this coins? No, it's film. Everyone wants you to do frog cam. It would be pretty cute. We have a couple of things we can do in the overworld here now. Oh, just trying to... whatever. We get this one, but there's also going to be one on top of DK's cowlick. I don't know what you want to call it. JamMcCam! It wouldn't work, frog. Yeah, because we have talked about that. He buries a lot, yeah. You could do it, couldn't you do it in the times of year that he's not burrowed? Again, I don't know much about frogs. I'm definitely a mammal guy. I feel like a frog would be a non-mammal I wouldn't mind having, but again, it's like there's ones I want to do again, like hamsters and guinea pigs, and I think guinea pigs are just more to play for me these days. Then again, it's like I have a dog and a cat, so it's a little tougher to do that.
Welcome to bonus day.
That's all year. They burrow during the day and hunt at night. Okay, so nocturnal. So yeah, it wouldn't work while you're streaming at least, or say it would have to be like an overnight thing or something, which you probably don't want to do. No, they ate the fairies! How dare you? Yeah, there's a lot of repeat minigames in this in case it hasn't become apparent. They just end up being harder versions of earlier ones. I really don't mind it. I kind of wish there was original minigames for everything, but to be fair, for every repeat, there's a really cool original one at the same time. Jarvis did hibernate this winter, I remember, yeah. He was completely buried for like 3 months. 90 golden bananas. I don't think there's anything else we can do at this moment. I don't think so. We can go around and collect like a lot of DKL stuff we're doing. This is technically a world in itself, much like what do you want to Gruntilda's Lair is a world for Zed on Banjo right now. So like it has all the usual collectibles save for bananas. So we have blueprints, we have crowns, and we have fairies. Although one thing we didn't check before we move on. Again, we'll verify these are all done. Yeah, okay, we're good, we're good. I think there's actually an even bigger completion screen that tells us how many... It doesn't tell us how many regular bananas we have. Damn. I was hoping it would. Okay. But no, for DK Isles, 3 out of 5, 2 out of 5, which is really... So like 4 out of 5... No, 3 out of 5, just no blueprint. 3 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5. Okay. Night sight come. Pre-record some footage every night to play back on your stream. You need an infrared cam, yeah, basically. Need Brax on screen. It will be terrifying for us. You keep saying that. I really doubt it. That was glitchy. Okay, I think there's one we can do here. Let's see whose is it. I think it's, yeah, it's Tiny's. I think it's a fairy. I don't think it's a golden banana. No, wait, there's something here though. There it is. Red. Red is Diddy. Okay. Is that doing a figure 8? Yeah, okay. Switch to DK. Frog outfit and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Blue. Linky. Yeah. I'm definitely one for that self-positivity these days. A lot of us, there's like a theory I was reading a lot about, that a lot of us, like, started doing that, like, jokingly make fun of ourselves thing. It started becoming a real thing for a lot of people. I was definitely in that category. In certain aspects, anyways. I'm always encouraging people. You are, you're your own worst critic kind of idea, right? And I often forget, like, for me, I'm obviously pretty fine with the way I look and whatever, but I have a birthmark all the way along the right side of my neck, all the way up my skull, basically, which doesn't matter. Technically I have hair, knock on wood. You know, yeah, it's basically front of my neck, all the way up the right side, all the way up the back of my head. It's wonderful. It was one of those things, yay Canada, they were trying to get it done for free and removed. Fortunately, I think second round of laser surgery on it, probably when I was like 12, I had a bad reaction and got very sick from the anesthetic for about a month, so we didn't do any more. Oh, I'm trying to find the camera. And we didn't go back. So it was very, you know what, it was very faded for a while. Like, it was almost not there after 2 treatments. I think it needed about 4, to be fair. But it was still gone. But I look at it like today even. I forget it's there a lot of times. But it's very red again. And I am very white, so it is very noticeable. There's a clear difference from that. But the thing is, to me, I know they talk about, like, in biology, every cell in your body over the course of 7 years regenerates to a new one. And that's, like, part of why, like, aging happens and whatever. But I think, like, part of that, since I was, like, what, 12? So we're talking, like, 19 and then basically 26. There's been, like, 2 entire cycles where my cells have changed over completely. And it's just back full force, man. I don't think we have a chunky power up here. I'm not, no, that's why we knock on wood. I'm not bragging about my hair. I'm not risking that one. I think I'm safe, but, knock on wood. My, one grandfather does not have a lot of it, and the other does. Father has plenty of it, so, I don't know. I forget which is dominant, because my mom wouldn't have, it would be my mom's side that the grandpa, anyways, I think I'm likely okay about it. Probably, I think it's still a case where, like, out of my 3 brothers, me and my 2 brothers, one of us is gonna have to deal with that. Although I think I would start noticing by 26, no? I would hope. Just grow your hair along its head and comb it over. Absolutely, man. I'd deal with it if it happened. I think, that, like, hasn't laser therapy come a long way in that regard, too? Less hair than Yoda. Yeah, I spent too much time at the lake here. I would not want to have to, like, sunscreen my entire head. Oh, come on, Brax. At the temples. See, I'm kind of worried I'm starting to get that, I got that kind of hairline at the front that does the kind of point. You know, the front and center, the forehead. So I'm always kind of like watching, because usually in that case, it's like the sides of that are receding, and that kind of point comes from more refined. Widow's Peak. Okay. Just a generic. But even by being generic does not mean bad. This is what I'm saying. You're too hard on yourself. But at the same time, it's still like, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. I don't want to do it. I have more reasons. I almost did, at least for VGA. But, like, I don't know. I don't feel the need to, personally. And, you know, work factors. for me. So it's a couple things. I think if it wasn't for the work factors, I'd probably just do it, because I've never, like, I'll say this, I've never cared that much for face cam. I don't, like, I could do with or without, you know, when I'm watching someone else's, that's where mine comes from. So it's just like, I just don't really care. Let me see here. So right now, by the way, it's our brand new world. Your beard's graying. Oh, I got the gray arm hairs, I've noticed already. I haven't noticed gray beard hairs or hair. And my brothers both did by this point. I probably just haven't looked hard enough, to be fair. I think in my family, you do start finding them around like 24 even. At least if I remember correctly with them. Okay, so talk about game for a second. Just fine that we're not. So this is Fungi Forest. The history of this is actually a... yeah, it is Banjo-Kazooie. This is a world that did not make it into Banjo-Kazooie. This is a great segue from Zed's earlier. So Fungi Forest is usually a pretty well-known cut from Banjo-Kazooie. I don't think it would be nearly this big or sprawling, because it's freaking massive. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is the largest world in the game. In a sprawling sense. I would think, like, World 7's pretty big vertically. It's more of like a tower, but... And plus, like, sub-areas and stuff. I think World 6 and 7 are probably pretty on par with this. This is the biggest world, but this has just always been a beautiful aesthetic to me. A lot of greenery. I really don't like mushrooms, but I mean, video game mushrooms are nice and cartoony, whatever. It's just beautiful. And we're going to do one of the best gold bananas in the game right off the bat. That's what we're going to do. Your chin started getting gray in your mid-30s. Just got the random gray beard hair so far. This is some bullshit. Stop holding my dashing good looks. What? What, me? Zed, you remember you have, what are we, 5 years? I think? You're 33, right? I'm 26. No, we're, oh no, we're 7 years. Okay. So yeah, you got 7 years on me, man. Just seeing if there's bananas. Oh, there's things up here. What is the point in this, though? What's the kitty in a jail? Ah, it's just the way the end of the bed frame is. Design choices, but also the color. Since I was color coordinator for a while, the whites and wood tones go really well with turquoise. They're like kind of like cyan that I painted the room, so it's like a lot of that theming around my room. It just kind of worked out that way. I didn't really plan it. Just happened to be the bed frame here that I inherited was white, and there's a lot of wood tones and a cabin. It was a cabin, so paint's on me. Cat prison. I mean, she's only on prison on this side. So, just bitch about receding hairlines and grain beard. Yeah. Turns out she was a cat burglar. Wow. What's a Heim? Oh, cat burglar. Yeah. Well, he's already been here tonight, so we're not summoning him with that pun. He might come back, so he said his name. I don't know if I said Heimdall. I said Heimdall now. Also, yes, second of 3 minecart levels in the game. So if you look at the box art, it's a lie. You see all 5 of them in a minecart. That never happens. There's a horror-themed minecart ride for DK in the 7th world. God, what? That'll be our last one. But notice, just like Donkey Kong Country, where Diddy Kong in the first minecart level, like in Donkey Kong Country, was jumping out of his minecart, and the second one they were jumping with the minecart. Big difference, I know. This one, Chunky is jumping with the minecart. So very true to Donkey Kong Country. Those that claim this game is not faithful. Damn it, I keep missing the bell. It's 5 a.m. where Refraction is he's still quick at the wit. Yeah, he's delirious. Can't believe you're awake. See, I was latest I've done in recent time was 1:15 1:15 the other night when Cyrus Ness and I, but it was just Cyrus and I left doing Cave Story for Mediocre Multiplayer. And, yeah, he fished at about 1. I'm pretty, like... Oh, man. I need my... You know what? Oh, we start again. Jesus, going bed. I need my, like, before bed, like, something, book, TV, or whatever. That night, no. Straight to bed. It's not very often I just go straight to bed, but, 1:15, a little late for me. It's definitely a peak for probably the last year or so. I want to say. I think it's probably happened with streams before, usually with those guys, I bet, but... I used to be 3 a.m. was the absolute max. I always had, like, an absolute max. I'd say the max now is, like, midnight. But 3 a.m. was my max for years. When I was fresh out of high school, basically, for a number of years. Stop! Why is that hitting? I can't tell his frickin' hit detection there. This is a beautiful minecart ride, though. Oh, man. Focus on this one a little bit, don't mind me. Okay, don't hit the red bell. Look how pretty! I don't know. I have the ability to appreciate anything from whatever air it comes from is beautiful, though, so... A very scenic minecart ride for this one, for sure. I feel. I can't see this guy. Damn it, there's a rock. I can't. There's too much shaking going on, man. No! Oh my god! I'm gonna fail this. Been hit like 4 times, I think. That's probably not great. Ah! 5! I'm 6! Good freaking lord. This is not good. I think I should probably restart. Oh, fuck, yeah. Oh my god, this. Actually in bed, gonna sleep soon. Be up on 2 a.m. It's actually 6 a.m. BST, yep. There's a couple of weeks where it's only 5-hour difference, then it goes back to 6. Yeah, some of those places are weird. Well, some places we probably all shouldn't change time zones, to be fair, but yeah. It's weird that there's, like, inconsistency with that. You guys put your clock forward at the start of March, so we do the last Sunday in March. That's weird difference, yeah. The minecart reminds me of those rides in TKC2 where you have to hit the ghost to make the gates open. Yeah, true. Good notice there, Travis. Spring forward, fall back. That's how we remember the time changes. Yeah. It is indeed. And everyone hates the 1, right? Because you lose an hour. So people who already aren't sleeping great are sleeping worse. The other one's nice. The other one I really don't mind. I think I mind both, though, in the sense that it's like, well, I'm very used to the sun doing certain things. I freaking cannot believe this has taken so many attempts. Whatever. Just gotta believe it. Embrace. Go with the flow. Gotta kind of remember what's coming, honestly. Okay, I'll take that. Why? He went through a coin there, didn't he? What the heck? Maybe it's because I was leaning. And you can't lean to get a center coin, even though his, obviously takes up a lot more. Oh, I see. I can drop the frickin' thing on him. So many of those you have to dodge. Damn, man. Alright, well, we'll say see you later. He was a skater boy. We said see you later, boy. There's a Canadian reference for the day. A very proud one. I was gonna say we don't make great musicians, but that wouldn't be doing Tom Cochran or Bryan Adams any service there, really. Or yeah, a lot of people like Rush. I don't really care for Rush, but it's probably most people's favorite, to be honest, though. If I had to guess. Ah, TNT, TNT everywhere. I think we're starting to make better actors. Okay. Okay. Okay, that was cool. 43. What's State's trying to make DST permanent. We just need like 3 other states to agree. Love DST to be permanent. You guys are proud of Avril? No, I was saying not really. Honestly, I don't have anything against Avril. It's just not really my music. Rick Astley. Is he? Is Rick Astley Canadian? Is Alanis Morissette Canadian? See, I'm really bad. I'm usually bad at music and like the people behind them in general, though, to be fair. Alanis Morissette? Was it it's like Ray Ain coming down on your wedding day? Whatever the fuck. I'm always referencing that one. Makes good memes. I'm trying to think. I do have one Alanis Morissette song. I'm trying to, it's not that one. Jesus Christ! I don't see those coming, man. Don't hit either? Question mark? 47, 48. I swear to God if it ends right here. Oh my God, 50 on the dot. You're more agile than you look. See? I told you, Dutch Alex. Agility's good. I'm trying to think. Let me find it out, or I'm gonna be bothered by which Morissette song I'm also bad at names sometimes. Okay, let's maybe pause while we do this so we don't get whacked by an orange. Rick Astley is British. I can see that. Ironic song is fun. Let's see. It was not that long ago of an ad, so it should be in my everything playlist. It was like last year I added one more set song. I think it's one of those ones that like, I mean, I'm not justifying it. There's a lot of songs that like you'd hear a lot on the radio or from your parents, and I tend to like those more, even if they're not usually the genre I like. But Head Over Feet. That's the Morissette song I have. Oh man. Oh, we're over here now. Typically, British singers will use more of an American English accent when they sing. Well, I think just singing in English itself tends to blur the lines a lot more of accents. But yeah, they maybe do use an accentuation to what they're singing. But Elton John's another example. Is he British? It more gets me with actors, and it scares me. Because there's so many shows I'll watch, and then I'll watch an interview, and after the show, if I liked it enough, and it's like, oh, they were just British the whole time. Well, shit. I had no idea. Like, it's so fantastic. But I noticed British actors doing American accents always go, like, full kind of, like, for guys, for example, they go full gruff. Like, they get the gruff American accent, for lack of a better term. But for me, it's like, well, I am an actor moving to another country. I feel like with the Canadian, like, it just doesn't go the other way. I've done British accents. They probably weren't great. I haven't done a lot of accent study through my degree. But I don't feel like I would get casted in even plays because I'd have a Canadian accent. So, shoot. You made a character for him when you did Eye of the Beholder. His name is... he was cleric named Elvin John, and he was half elf. No, I'm not doing it now. I'm really bad at doing those things on the fly. Impersonations are something I'm good at, but I don't know, it's not something that's great on demand. It has to come organically. I'm weird. It's like my stage fright that does exist is present in weird ways like that. Honestly, like, so for the British accents I've done, it's not an easy one to do. And it's like, I've had to practice those lines to do them. So to say them right now, it would imply I'd literally have to remember those lines. If that makes sense, too. To kind of maybe get the best effect of what I was maybe able to do. And I think I've done it twice. Oh god, like, the one was a caricature. I remember it was like 2015. I did a... I'm trying to think. He wanted, like, yeah, it was just like a caricature accent. It wasn't, you know... But yeah, none of this stuff's like official trained accent work. I don't know if they do that in the UK, like official work for, you know, accents for doing like stuff in America, but I'd imagine so. Man, that looked like it was gonna break, not just open. Or oh, whatever. Yeah, we don't have that sound alert here, Zed. It's an advantage for actors to do accents, absolutely. It's definitely on the radar. I don't feel like it goes well the other way. Have you seen American actors that do you know, British accents or like do British TV? I'm sure they exist. A lot of times I feel like you're just allowed to stick to your own accent when it comes to those two, to be honest, or at least it should be. Like, I don't know. It's less often than I would expect it to be, I guess. Like, I don't know why. It's probably just the character went into, like, Rick Grimes or whatever in Walking Dead. The actor was British, but why did he have to be an American accent for that? I guess because he's like, where the hell did that? Was it Texas Ranger? I guess, yeah. It's like, so it's like, oh, it's a Texan. And you didn't tell me no Brits live in Texas that would be a Ranger. I don't know, man. I just feel like it's not as big of a deal as maybe it's made out to be for TV to do that. Americans are typically terrible at British accents. They overdo it and base it off the fake British accent they see on TV. Yeah. No, I think that's probably me too. Well, no, like, the best thing, because, like, we have a little training, the best thing I hear for British, because, like, in a sense of, like, how you think about things, at least for me, it was, think of, like, where you bring your speech from. And right now it feels like, the analogy for me was just, like, right now it's like center of my mouth. To go, like, Russian, they were like, try to think of your words coming from the back of your throat. And then with British, it was like, think of it coming from the tip of your teeth. Like, very, like, it was just like a weird thing that, like, kind of makes sense, but doesn't. I don't know. But it helped a lot when I've had to do it, I guess. Aussie, yeah, Aussie is, I think Aussie's more in that, like, stereotypical British, like, people oversteer almost to Australian when you put on an accent. When I used to put on accents for fun, just with people, it would, like, shift from the most random things. I remember even just doing my own frickin' voice in, what the hell's happening here? In plays. I was Jonas and the Giver, my first lead. And I had this, oh, we're gonna have to see Cranky before we do, like, jack crap in this world. I forgot about that. We'll find him. I was having to do Jonas and the Giver, so it was just, like, my own voice, whatever. Maybe a bit kiddie, because I was, like, 19 playing a 12-year-old. Because, well, most of that play was cast upwards, because the director liked to, you know, work with more adults. I mean, I was the oldest. The rest were about 15 to 16, and we're all playing 12. I had the lead, but there was this one line where it's like, because the whole play is about, like, the lack of emotions and color and sense that's been removed from the world, right? So there's an instance where, like, Jonas is discovering that, and he's, like, asking his parents if he loves them. And it was, like, the strangest thing. I just would say the line, "Do you love me?" like British. And it was, like, this big joke. Because it was fucking hilarious. It made no sense to even me. Just like in the heat of the moment, this line would just come out British, and there was no freaking rhyme or reason for it. And we just think about, "Do you love me?" Yeah, like, it, just like that. It's just something about that freaking sentence, like, just, I don't know. I am having an aneurysm with that one fucking line. Let's just call it that. And it's still a case, like, 6 years later. Sue me. No, most accent work is just people doing the stereotypical thing, right? Oh, do we have Jetpack to play? We have Jetpack to play. I'm embarrassed that happened. I tried to kind of make it happen, but frick, man, like, it was just a thing. So I don't remember the trick to this. I know Now and Then 64 had a ton of trouble with this. I think a lot of these goodies are... We need like 5K, I think he said, and you can just spam it from killing things for the most part. Honestly, getting some of these little power-ups and stuff. Pretty good, but I don't like moving on in levels. Typically in this one. Because you're trying to get points in this one. It's not like the DK Arcade coin. And yes, again, this coin is mandatory to beat Donkey Kong 64. Call it bullcrap. I call this one pretty easy, because I think it's, I don't know, we'll go to 10k, but I'm pretty sure it's just 5k. Well, actually, I'm going to start playing Jetpack after 5k, because I don't mind this game at all, actually. But you can pretty much be safe on the top upper echelons there. Jetpack! Yep. Did that sound kind of British? Yeah. No, it was like, it's not like full British. But, like, literally, our stage manager, like, looked it up, and it was something about the, like, the lineup of the words, "Do you love me?" said, you know, in the way that Americans or Canadians say it, just, like, has a tendency because of the inflections that came. It's something to do with the like, what is it, do you, like, because it's the love where the word's coming out. So it's something about the way the inflection of you ends. Also, we got the coin already. DK Arcade can suck it. This is much more reasonable. At least I found. Again, now and then 64 had a tough time with this. I was surprised. I'm sure other people do too, but I don't know. I never had a tough time with Jetpack. I think it's because we actually played this one for fun on, you can play it outside of, you know, the main game of DK64, just in the menus or whatever. Yeah, they were called Ultimate Play the Game, that's right. There used to be a really good series. If you haven't checked it out, it's called All Your History Are Belong to Us. Yes, a play on words, and I died instantly. Really good machinima series that went on that talked about the history of a bunch of gaming companies, and they finished off on Nintendo, obviously, but. The Rareware one was obviously very interesting to me. The Westwood one was good. Highly recommend that series. I'm sure it's still there. It's Machinima on YouTube. Wait, so we're not saying yes to Jetpack again, are we? Okay. Yeah, I was just reminded of that. It's super good. If you like video game history, which I do, yeah, it's solid. Oh, the id one was good too, I remember. Anything I was interested in. Obviously, Rareware is my favorite gaming company. I say it as Rareware because they were my favorite when they were labeled Rareware and not just Rare, because Rare was before they started putting a lot of work into their games, and then after the Microsoft acquisition. Rareware was specifically like Super Nintendo and N64 era. Okay, so that was Donkey Kong. So we'll need to bring everybody to Cranky's. We'll also need to go to Funky's. We'll get our homing ammo belt here. Yeah, it's sad. It is what it is, though. We'll get a new ammo belt, I believe, which includes homing ammo, which we've kind of probably seen boxes for. They're just, like, more ready boxes than the originals. Force them to do Kinect games. Well, they're also the ones behind the Xbox Live avatars, to be fair, which is... Why are you asking me to play Jetpack every freaking time? You're not letting me have another potion. You telling me Diddy doesn't have one in this world? Or was it just, I didn't really look. Was it just the upgraded Simian Slam? Hang on. Yeah, notice our shockwave's blue now, so we have a... And well, the animation's different too, but... If you notice those switches are now blue. It's just because, yeah, they are requiring a better Simian Slam, as it's called. Kind of an unnecessary upgrade, but they need to keep making Crankies useful throughout the game, I guess. I'm not playing Jetpack. I'm not doing it, sir. Starting to feel my arm a bit here, though, so... I did a good workout on my arms today, but that's really been the ticket for fixing my arm. That rowing machine's a godsend. I don't know. Physio. He does really want me to play Jetpack. Thing is, I got his damn coin, didn't I? So, I guess it's just in case you wanted... Yeah, we got the coin. Again, necessary collectible. It's unnecessary, I feel. It's necessary. No! It's just like... All my Kongs are visiting me. Better ask them all if they want to play Jetpack. Die, mushroom! You don't belong in this world, even though it's Fungi Forest. Chunky. Well, yeah, Chunky's gonna have one, so there's one outside the main door there. What do we have for 91? Zed, if you're around, how many jiggies were you at, man? I think you were at like 100, weren't you? Well, you only have to collect 100. Wait, why do you not have something for Chunky? Did that seriously just happen? We didn't visit him already. You don't remember. Okay, fair enough. I just don't know, because you have 9 worlds and I have 7, so it's hard to really say how close together we are. I don't know if you want to still... I was just going to say, I don't know if you want to still continue the rareware trend on this, because we could just... If you're going to hop on a 2E, say, I could do Conquer. Because I've been wanting to do Live and Reloaded, actually, like the Xbox version of that. So I've not finished that one before. Let's see. So we want to also find Funky and stuff. This world's massive. I think you have 50. Okay, yeah, so 50's half of your field, so just try and get... I mean, I do have 100, though. We have well over 100 with blueprints. Just getting kind of lazy on this. I don't... Oh, you know what? Okay. We're going to finish tonight with a bit of hell. And it's likely going to be the rest of the stream for success or not. Probably the latter. Yeah. Coming right up. Lanky and the Rabbit Race. My least favorite golden banana of this entire freaking game. It's gonna be not fun. I'll have to find it first. Yeah, actually, I feel like you shouldn't jump right on a... Yeah, no worries, Refraction. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good sleep there. Yeah, no, maybe it's not the best to keep on the rareware trend. Probably need a little break. Kind of learned that lesson in the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic back-to-back. I just really got burnt out in 2, so it's been hard to bring myself back to it. Sorry, Heimdall. We'll get there. I think I'm just going to do it anyways at some point here, but definitely kind of in the mood for more platforming games these days. Cheers! For sure, man. I'll take a drink of water to that. I'm not really a drinker, but I'll get water. Okay, so I think in order to... I'm going to say we want DK, and it's a door within a door in that one zone. Did we already get 2? We did not get 2. That area we were just in... It might be this one, too. Basically a bunch of sub-areas that are giant hubs as well. Just going to look around real quick. Playing Time Splitters next. You know what? If you did Time Splitters, I could do Perfect Dark. That would line up pretty well. I think I could do Time Splitters. I think it would be a similar length of games too. Or is it Perfect Dark? Yeah, Perfect Dark. I'll do like the rare replay one on Xbox One. Or I don't know. I might do 60. I'll probably do rare replay. I want that dual stick control. And the updated textures. That could work. Because I think you said you're doing Future Perfect, so I mean I could do Time Splitters 2, but I feel like I'm gonna warn you. Well, you know what? You might not notice it. After all my Overwatch and modern shooters I've got accustomed to, I'm probably not gonna like Time Splitters datedness as much, unfortunately. It's my only worry, because I do love Time Splitters, but I'm just... We'll see. Future Perfect will be a little better. As far as like AI and control scheme. I don't know. I feel like I still love Time Splitters just because I love Time Splitters. I don't think it's just going to disappear because I'm more used to modern controls, to be fair. I never really... Time Splitters has never built the story mode for me though, really, so... What is the deal here? What is... the way through here? There's Lanky Bananas there, so that makes me think it's the Rabbit Race. We might have to do something within this mushroom hut. You were born and molded by it. We'll see. Would you... I don't know. Would you agree? Perfect Dark, it's the same human beings developing the games. I feel like that would be it'd basically be inverse of what we're doing, too. Because you'd be doing the later inception of the creators, where I'd be doing the earlier one. Except not really, because I'd be doing the remake. This is one thing I always see people pointing out as unnecessary. I think it's, yeah, it's probably unnecessary. I always like the way the buttons look. I don't know. I'm just really biased at this game, but I really don't mind doing this a bunch of times, honestly. It's a little weird they're making all of them hit it here. But I think it's like, symbolically, it's unlocking something pretty substantial about this area we're in. Yeah, like the way up, okay. Trying to think, what the hell would... See, that one door was closed. I don't know if that's the door that's, we need, though. Because there's definitely a perk to just climbing this thing as is. I don't really know what benefits getting shot right up there is going to do right now. Other than streamlining the process later. It's kind of like World 3 when we had to climb that... you know, the big machinery factory thing. It's, oh god. So, right now, yeah. Probably stick to this. Oh, we got a tiny thing here. Okay, well maybe, who do we want to start this with? Is Chunky Bananas. I want to attempt the rabbit race tonight. At least get the first one done, because there's 2 iterations of that damn thing, too. And it's specifically why we need the infinite crystal coconuts. Damn it. But yeah, I never did stories in Time Splitters, really. I was obsessed with loading time into the map maker and virus mode for what mode you'd actually play and capture the bag. Because flags, the game's too good for flags. Obviously. No, map maker was always a big seller for me. In almost any game. I feel like it's less the case nowadays, but it's almost like the limitations of the tools you had in map makers and design things back then were so much more accessible than how infinite possibilities are of, like, I don't know, the Halo Forge I know existed, but I was like, around that time I was like no longer interested. Just like it was too much to wrap my head around. Yeah, challenges in Arcade League. There's some tough ones, man. I don't think I've ever even... Well, like, Future Perfect, though. I don't know how many of those ones I did. Because in, I will say, in Future Perfect, they didn't make it necessary to do all the League challenges like they did in the second game to unlock all the, you know, perks. Fix my freaking hoodie here. I think a lot of it's more access, so it would be... up to your discretion, really, on that one. Why the heck would it switch to DK and not give me a tag barrel right away? And tiny. So why would you encourage me to go up with chunky? Yeah, so yeah, I kind of see what they're saying here, actually. And actually, freaking room's getting hot now. It's so inconsistent lately. Probably as a factor of using my computer and the Wii U and stuff spouting out hot air. Tips the balance. Yeah, I guess, so you're just kind of like looking to have random fun within the game, it sounds like. I'd be super down for that. Yeah, maybe if I don't set a goal, even if in Perfect Dark, combat sim's a lot of fun just to mess around in. I think this might unlock us the rabbit race area. See, I don't remember having to unlock the rabbit race area, though. I don't know why that one door has no buttons on it. Maybe it does. It's because I do remember having buttons on it, and it just unlocks the buttons after some sort of thing like this. Random rainbow in the background. This world just has such a pretty colorful aesthetic all around. Okay, here's where it's going to try and get ya. I think. What are we? First? Second. Assuming it's not the first one we want to go and do. I feel like we are repeating that one. Yeah. Oh, maybe it might have been the next segment of it. Okay, this feels like a repeat again. First? No, that is the first one. This is the wait for it. Wait, that one, yeah. I love how I have to label that because it's such a far shot. I didn't think we made that. Oh, buddy. Oh, that's overshot, isn't it? Nope. Oh, it's a bonus barrel. No! Okay. Oh, this, we did this today, like, already. Damn. It's 2 worlds in a row game. Nope. Flawless victory. Well done. I don't think that's unlocking us anything, given the fact it was a bonus barrel. Something. Donkey Kong. Yeah. Oh God, that hurts. Oh, that hurt. I can do impersonations organically after I hear them. Mostly. Honestly, it depends on what it is. Okay, so we did switch to DK here, so now it's back down. Yeah, this is not the best design, guys. I gotta agree on this one. Was that a Diddy frickin'... Okay, I was like, damn, guys. You really want everyone to admire this deck. I'm half tempted just to unlock World 6 just to get the full upgrades for everybody, like, before we do 5. I don't know how many bananas, but what was it, what was it, 250 last? It's probably 300 for this one. We'll get things done as we can see them. I still feel like we'll get to Rabit Race. I don't know. I would like to break it up, because I don't think we're going to get it first night we try it. Or at least not, like, if it's tonight. So I'm pretty much near the end here. At least, you know, within the hour, I'm sure. I thought that went overboard for a second. How dare you? But yeah, Beaver Bother, DK Arcade, Rabit Race. Beaver Bother times 3. Those are the things I'm worried about in this game. Rabit Race is at the top of that totem pole. Let me just say that. Thank you. I totally saw that coming. Freaking bees. Okay, back inside. Okay, and we're back to Chunky, you say. To shreds, you say. How terrible. The thing is, once you get to the top of this, you can kind of just drop back down to get the things, I guess. Because we'll be Chunky's boss this world, obviously. I think this might be the other side, yeah, it's a little confusing. Yeah, so I don't really want to climb this twice, though. Just climbing it for no reason right now. If they did just have straight up 500 bananas in the world, that would probably have been a better choice. I definitely agree to that. I don't mind. I like all colorful stuff, so it's just, I've got bias. I've got bias, rose-colored glasses, etc. There's definitely a lot of freaking Chunky's bananas here, damn. Oh, it's just, the launch up. I don't know what I was thinking there. That's weird. Thing is, I can stay... Yeah, that Rabit Race. We're really going to be in some trouble on Wii U with that frame rate thing. The thing is, like, I do have a famous... Not famous. I have a video which just exists that was cutting out my, like, 21 attempts of doing that Rabit Race. The only reason we ever got it was the jank happened. The jank happened in a good way. I'm going to try and make that jank happen every time we do it legitimately. Because fuck that race. But, Jesus, man. Like, I had it the first try. I swear I did, and the game just refused to acknowledge the fact I had it. So, what the hell? That was the thing. Anyways. It was really not pleasant. Not pleasant memories. Hopefully we don't fall too far here. Trying to redo what we just did. Okay, so it's a little further yet, I think. Is it? Yeah, I think so. Oh, what are we doing, camera? I think it's from here. Yeah, that's where Diddy's supposed to... Ah! Surprise! Grenade. Bum, 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 bum. Stop! I mean, I should see it coming, but Jesus. I'm gonna see it coming this time. There we go. I don't put much faith in the enemies in this game, so I'm not giving the credit they deserve a little bit. They are sometimes capable. Not as capable as those freaking snowmen and Banjo-Kazooie. Those guys, I don't know how they programmed them to predict where you were going to be so well back in this day and age. Tough guy. What's up? Right, 56. That leads me to believe we missed some, but not a big deal. I only need 75. Yep! I was hoping I waited long enough for the not vault jump. Excellent. Ah! Almost walked off the damage, man. I think this just opens up, oh, it's you. Okay. Whoa, huh? Oh, there's more than one, you say. Probably not the fastest way down. There's one right here. Don't you dare! Okay. Ah. Oh, these are fun. Yeah. D, I wonder what to do here. Donkey Kong, you say. Okay, so yellow. I believe, if I'm not wrong, surprise bees are coming. Not so surprising bees, because I know they're coming. Alright, Braxton. Have a good night. Thank you for stopping by. I was definitely late there. I appreciate it. Oh no, surprise ball. Oh no. Oh no. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Okay. See, I remember this one on CRT, or on HD screens on the actual N64 is not doable, I think is what it was. Or maybe this just gets hard enough. Any modern TV can't do it, I think. Yeah, I think I might. Yeah, Jesus Christ. I don't think I can do this any faster. So this is where we pause spam. That's still not gonna make it fast enough. Oh yeah, it will. That is the trick. Also, watch it off the gamepad helps. That's not gonna get it, is it? It is. That's not gonna get it, is it? Okay, there we go. There's an even harder iteration of that. I remember having no issues on a CRT on N64, but or Nintendo Capri Sun was mentioning it was the modern TVs screwing them up, and I've heard it mentioned by speedrunners since. Input delay matters when you're factoring such small chunks of time for those kind of things, I guess. Makes sense. Okay, I just really want that rabbit race out of the way, man. I'm not really worried about much else. Woo, hop! I think we can try and get on our way down here. Is the kersplat. Let's make a noise down here. It's only meant for nighttime, but I think I can see a sequence break. Depending on where he actually is. Look at me sequence breaking. You said I need nighttime, did you? I don't think so. Definitely got the most bananas so far. Okay, let's kill Chunky. Alright, good. The Rabit Race? Oh, maybe Diddy needs to do jetpacky things? I don't know, man. I also see lanky stuff. Wait, wasn't there like... Yeah, it's on top of the gate. Okay, I remembered. Late, but I remembered. Okay. Bear with me. We're gonna go through hell. If that is indeed where it is. I believe since Lanky's the one that has to open the door, that's probably the right door. Considering it's... I most associate this area with him, at least personally, with good reason. This rabbit can die. Elmer Fudd can do his job for once. This rabbit, for all I freaking care. Okay, expectation is complete failure. And that's gonna make it better when we hopefully... You know what? Yeah, your belly hurts, sure. You know what else hurts? Musical instruments. I probably didn't want to kill him there. Well, actually, I don't think we're close enough to kill. Yeah, this bee's already not dead. I'm probably fine. Okay, so the frame rate, I remember in the cartridge. Some of the only noticeable areas I can remember the frame rate being low is this. This is one of the areas. I think it's because probably the extra leaves on the screen don't help. This, you know, the gulp here. This is hell for me. This is what hell's like. This area. We're gonna focus specifically on the lanky aspects of this too, which I guess includes blueprint for now. I don't want to use my instrument yet. Well, I guess we are gonna do that anyways to trigger the guy. But we're gonna want infinite crystals for this. Oh boy. He's gonna be harder on his initial iteration, I think, too. See, the thing is, this Kremling here, where he was able to get the rabbit stuck on the things he dropped. But that's only gonna matter because there's a second iteration of this fight. He just gives you nothing for the first time you beat him. This guy's a dick. Okay, let's do it. I get it. I know. I've been here. Unfortunately, too many times, sir. He's also starting ahead of me. Let's get cheats. Okay, I'm actually going faster than him, but he's in the way. Camera. Well, we didn't get that teleport till now. Quick way back to hell if we want it. Give me a second. We paused, Dave. I'm sorry. It's not a world record run. It's fine. Sweaty hands happen when I'm stressed, I think, only. No pausing! Can't officially count the rabbit race. Pause. You can always get a lot of time on him on this one, at least, because he takes a lot bigger of a scoop around. I wouldn't mind getting the first try on the first iteration of him, at least. I am stressed. We're gonna try and glitch him out, though, every time we do this. Not bad for a lumbering ape. I wasn't really trying, so you can't have the trophy yet. Yeah, you frickin' idiot. Hate his stupid face. I guess he gives you coins. Which kind of makes sense because you need to buy the upgrade. But, I mean, we should have it, no? Like, we were at Cranky's and he was like, no, we ain't got nothing for you. So I would hope they didn't design it to wait till this. Oh, the sludge. I missed that. But yeah, I remember that being tough too, Zed. Oh, I didn't try and trigger the thing. See, that barrel's grayed out, which is already telling me bad things, I think. So we might just warp out of here and go get our upgrade. I think, was it in that last... It was in that last area, I think, too. See, it's grayed out. Why would they... If that's a you need to do Crystal Caves first thing, that's really bad. I'll even admit that. Oh, man. We'll see if Cranky will give us the upgrade. I like how the race is still timing, technically. I don't think it was one. It was the purple one, yeah. Maybe we'll beat the rabbit if we're this far out. Can't lose if we're not there. Oh, you know what, though? This jerk's gonna pull me out of this. Cranky, I want to find you as quick as possible, man. He's all the way over there. That race has got to be done any second now, though. Oh, man, my grandpa's faster than you. I'm waiting for it. I don't... No! Don't you dare drag me back there. No. Thank you. Problem with hell, you get dragged right back to it when you're trying to get out. No, nothing at... You're serious right now. Seriously, DK64. You're not allowing me to do the world in order? You're making me go to Crystal Caves before I can beat Fungi. Fucking seriously. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. That is definitely bad. Why would you do that? You should just be able to complete the worlds in order for the most part. I understand why we didn't do it at the start. Maybe. I don't really understand that, but... Hot damn, guys. Well, I can find another boss door somewhere, I'm sure. I'm trying to get to one up top, but... Whatever. Nope, don't go to hell. Hell is not where I want to be. Oh, here it is. I don't think we're gonna have enough bananas to, like, frickin' yeet Chunky into the damn boss yet, but... I'm really hell-bent on doing this rabbit race, apparently. We could just do other things. I think the, yeah, that's also there. See if we can keep doing pacifist runs of crowns. I can't believe that. I did not remember that. I feel like I'd remember that. I think I kind of do now. I blocked it out, I guess. We'll do all the things we can up on the top of this mushroom. Just get it out of the way. Okay, so that's 20. Chunky has a thing there. We haven't found Funky to get the gun upgrade. That we definitely can do at this point. I can't believe that. Oh my god. I'm always expecting the surprise bees in these kind of caves. In fact, well, this is encouraging you to have the, oh wow, no, this is have that already. I guess we should have taken that bee out first. It's definitely a quick way to do it, though. He's gonna come back partway through this, unfortunately. That eats about 10 seconds. Okay, what are we trying to get to? Assuming Chunky. No, it's DK, I think. But I think we do want DK. For some reason, Chunky's trying to make DK happen. Nike is always before DK, apparently. Okay. That's not the right one there. Son of a beach. It's not DK. Estimated time before B comes back? Probably not long. Okay, so Tiny goes to Lanky, goes to DK, goes to Chunky. So everything, we could have just freaking pretty much hit them all maybe one more time then in that case. Ooh, okay. Just didn't hit the wrong one. Lanky to DK to Chunky. Lanky, DK, Chunky, you freaking B. I'm trying to ignore you. Got it. It's always the bees. The bees and the robots. 94. I guess Lanky's the other one we want to do things with. We'll find the closed doors. I think it opened 2 of them, so there's a couple off this one switch. Ooh, don't fall off. That is not one of them. Oh, they're still open. Or is it just... Huh? Okay. What are all these then? This is probably the one back, I think. Oh no, okay. Oh, more bees. It's always with the bees. I'm telling you. Oh, I guess we can't really tell how long until the Wii U dies when I kept it plugged in this whole time, guys. Well, that was not much of a challenge for that one. We got a banana melt, so we have at least 150 between these two. So I think before next stream, we definitely want to just pop our heads into Crystal Caves and have all the upgrades the game has to offer. Honestly. At this freaking point. Honestly, we might just want to get this now before we forget about it. Pacifist run attempt. Oh god, I don't know. There's 2 of these dudes. These curse splats are gonna make this impossible. Yeah, exactly. No pacifist run. They gotta die today. Another thing I always heard from that. What you gonna do? Those invented words things I talked about. Okay, dude, we get it. You have like tidal waves and shit. I'm not a fan, right? Not a fan. Give me that sweet health, thank you. Get out of here. Oh, you fucker. Okay, flew towards the wave. I'm not gonna judge that. That's helping me. Crown for you, sir. Yeah. I didn't notice how my image is cropped. It is cropped, right? Okay, it was just like a weird widescreen moment happening there for a second. How much bananas do we have? We had 150, 205, 209. I think we almost have enough. Satisfying squash noise. There was more in that mushroom, I guess. We'll have to come back for that. As much as I like knocking things out in the best possible order, ain't gonna happen there, I don't think. Oh. Go on top of the mushroom there, I think is stuff, right? I think that might only be for Diddy's jetpack size only. Oh, no, there's one there. Yeah, it's funny my favorite world has my least favorite golden banana in the game in it. I will say. Give me a sweet instrumentation. Thank you. Instrumentation. Okay. Where's the damn tag barrel? Thank you. 11 o'clock. Yeah, we gotta call it soon. I'm even going for 3 hours. It's pretty freaking good. I only imagine like 2 hours tonight. But I only imagine to do that last world, to be fair. I almost got double Banjo-Kazooie tonight, though, in a way, with this being, like I said, a cut Banjo-Kazooie world. It does feel like more fitting of a Banjo-Kazooie theme, I gotta be honest, but there's no way Banjo-Kazooie could have made the world this big without the RAM pack, I don't think. But maybe I'm full of crap. I think Banjo-Kazooie just maybe had smaller worlds because it was the first. It's probably a fair statement. Nothing special here. Some more in this area, but I think the boss door is locked behind nighttime here. I do believe. Yeah, I know. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes are trying to murder you. It is locked behind freaking nighttime here. That's so random. Funky's here. Woo! We run an excitement for that one. Let's get an ammo belt. You only did a world and a half. That's about what I'm at. Plus you have... I have technically less worlds than you. We're on good pace, I feel. It depends how much that rabbit race does me in. Maybe it's something I off screen. If worst comes to worst, I think. It's not like a whole stream of rabbit race. I don't think it'll be that bad, but I could be fooled. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes! No! I'm just trying to... I'm not trying to deal with you yet, Tomatoes. I'm trying to get some nanners to go deal with the boss. You know, if we can upgrade our ourselves tonight, that would be lovely. That's what I'm thinking. Thinking of doing here. There's a boss door in this one to the top, so I'm gonna... I don't think... There's plenty of them to go around, but not two. I think one's probably a safe bet. I'm trying to think of where it is in here. I think it's just around the outskirts, probably. It might be locked behind nighttime as well, though, to be honest. Plenty of things are in this world. This is locked behind daytime, however. It's Snides and the boss door. Yes. Yes, it is. You'll slow down towards... Well, I mean, me too, man. That's fair. And, true of myself, for sure. 300, I think, yes. It's predicted. I think, if my math's right, we should... Honestly, this is, probably the second hardest boss. Other, like, the base bosses. So, this would be nice to knock out tonight. So I do have some trouble with this sometimes. Usually. It's just not nearly the same struggles, obviously. But don't worry, there's still plenty of Fungi Forest to go around. I loves it. I can't make a big noise. Diddy 30 Bananas. It's like when it was back in the day when I was trying to like do this as fast as I could. It's like, just please get me there. I want to see the next world. 183. I don't know if we're getting there. Chunky has 95. I don't think DK... they basically both need that much, man. Yeah, we're not getting there. That's disappointing. Oh boy. It was basically, yeah, they're requiring 300 out of 500 at this point. 128! It's the next bit tier. Now it's going to be hard to count up what I have for banana medals. What do we need? We need 50? 40, 35? I wasn't actually looking at the math. 33. Huh. Okay. 33, you say? I really don't remember. And the problem with this Z-Shed is go here after all's said and done. So usually fine. Start tackling some of this shed, I guess, in the meantime. Alright, I want 1108. I can start doing a little more. I don't know. I don't know if we're getting the boss in necessarily, but it's okay. Oh, that's not freaking open anymore. What a jerk. What do we have there? A lanky pad. Oh, crap. There's tiny bananas in the water here. I doubt there's 30, but let's start getting some little things knocked out. See, I do like going area by area, though, so trying to, like, beeline it out of here is not the best call, probably, for remembering what's needing to be done. We'll knock out these tiny bananas as we see them. Usually I do just do what I see next, usually, but I'm probably just going to be backtracking and revisiting more often than I'd like. Okay, so 5. Let's probably go 15 here. That gets us about halfway, I guess. Okay. 17. There's not going to be a weird number like that in the water. Is there? Oh, she's had weird numbers in this world so far. I think. Oh yeah, she does have something she can do here. It's probably only at night, if I remember right. More bananas, at minimum. I think we do want her in here at night. I think. Well, no, there's that, I guess. But this is only available at night. Oh yeah, she fights a giant spider. That's gonna be fun. 32! Oh boy. We have bullets floating around or anything. Oh, we have homing ammo now. Right. I think we can only carry 25 or 50 of it though. And it goes in front of it. You can't like swap between the animals. That's another suggestion I saw. I think that maybe mod, if it actually exists, is one of the swaps they did. It'd be interesting to try, though I don't really trust N64 emulation. Probably like the only real way to do it. To be fair. Now, why would I need tiny in here? From what I'm seeing, there's not a lot of reason. That's weird. Well, there's a tag barrel in here, though, so we can definitely just snag DK's bananas and go get that boss done. It's not the way I want to do this, but whatever. What does that do? Did we already do that? No, we didn't. Ah, no! Alright, fine. Have it your way. I'm going to the boss. I think I forced it closed by pushing it, is what it felt like. Okay, where was Snides? Snides over there. Ah! Thank you. Oh god, camera. Actually, I haven't had too many camera incidents in this one. Alright, Chunky, we're paying your way to the tough boss, man. Sorry. So, if you remember World 2, just remember World 2. Say that much. You telling me you can't reach that yet, Pig? I see your hand dangling next to it. Can she reach just by... Nope. Oh god, it's taking as long as we can to get up here. It's weird I can do this boss this soon. Chunky time! Trying to remember. Okay, I think I remember how to do this pretty well. At this point, I'd hope so. It is definitely. We're not getting Rabbit Race, or at least we got the first Rabbit Race out of the way. At least we don't have to do them twice, and we got him first try on that one. So hopefully a good sign. Again, the frame rate problems is pretty tough on that, but we do get this tonight, and this is pretty tough. No Beaver Bothers tonight. No other really tough ones I could think of. There was a bonus game, I think. It was a little tougher, but I don't think so even then. Or that cannonball thing, I guess, was about, you know, toughest thing tonight, other than this, probably. Some reattempts. And yeah, he's back. And he's mad Diddy got him. So he's better than ever. Worship him! It'll stop him from miting you! Definitely do the jump throw. If you're ever doing this. Guarantee you're gonna hit him better. Use your vault jumps. Pro tips. So obviously, Chunky's not as agile as Diddy was. Oh, I didn't even realize I could get him before that. But he does have an extra thing he throws in there. Spice it up. We probably will have to dodge that. I was just fortunate before I ended up there, I think. We can see if we can, like, box around this to... I don't think so. Yeah, so anyway, it whacked, but... I don't want him blowing up that either, yeah. Better iteration of this music, though. Oh, he's gonna do this already? Ow! Okay, well that worked. Don't you dare get back up! I remember pretty vividly the first time I beat this. I was celebrating pretty good. I remember which room I was in and everything, but not gonna be the case now. What's harder about this one, you ask? Well, the freaking ground's sinking towards liquid hot magma, as Ness would say. Or Dr. Evil, as Ness is quoted. So, that's fun, right? There's also more phases to it, really, too. So it's a toughie. It's a toughie. He laughs too much. That's his problem. Okay, if the barrel would work, that would be lovely. Ah, shoot! You're supposed to be able to get 3 mega punches in there. I think 2 and some wimpy punches probably better. If I remember right. Because you can't really. There's not much room for error with the timing factor of this, really. We'll try 3. We got 3. We can't get 4, so 3 and some wimpy punches if we time it right. We're probably looking pretty good, if I'm honest. I know we only got 2 mega punches on that one, but... Ooh, this is taking time, though. It's all taking time. Okay. Come on, baby. Chunky needs some new punches. We're gonna go 2 in punches there. Okay. We're probably not looking too bad. Well, I don't know. We had 2 with only mega punches. 2 mega punches in it, so... That's not lovely. This is our last chance here, I think. Come on. Come on. Hurry up and bulk up, buddy. Funky Chunky! Come on! Oh, you son of a beach ball! Really? I don't think we have time. Come on. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up! Yeah. Oh, this is pretty grim. Jesus Christ, game. The barrel's there, too. What the heck, man? There's really not much leeway for that. Yeah, if you fail this boss fight, the pig and the hippo are just out. They're on to the next one, man. They're not up for these reattempts. I actually thought we might be able to get that first go. Done this enough times now. There's just... Problem is there's just no room for error on that last phase. With the thing sinking like that. They definitely do a really good job making these boss fights feel epic, though. Music's definitely a solid addition to it. That reasoning. Nope! Toe tap me good, man. Okay, I don't know. Maybe that's a mandatory hit. I thought you could just backflip over that. He's gonna be real mad now. He's like, now you know how it feels to go in the magma. Okay, I was worried that didn't work. Oh, white. Okay, you can't stand on it. Okay, we'll get 2 punches in maybe and some wimpy ones. Yeah, 1 wimpy one. That's not a good start, is it? I was just like figuring I could stand in the center there to speed up as much as possible. It's actually quite the opposite. Getting hit by that didn't help. A little forward, and then back. Why are you doing? I was holding Z, man. Okay, well that's not great. So 2 and wimpy punches twice. I think we'll probably need 4 mega punches, really. Four mega punches in that one go. That might save us. Now, I guess 4 is not all we needed, though. I thought there was only one more chance, though. This is the last chance here. Come on, baby. Oh, don't fly off. There it is. I was not far off. It was 6, I guess. Well, that's one toughie out of the way tonight. Only in 2 attempts, so. Practice makes better. Just like, screw it. He's trying to flip you off, but Nintendo. Donkey Kong. I don't think we get the upgrade tonight, though. I think we just remember that we need to get the upgrade. How are we doing for Fungi, though? 5 out of 25. So we still have really most of World 5 next time. Even though we got the boss already, it's interesting. And then we'll be on the Crystal Caves. We're gonna move on. I am done. Let's make sure I save. I'm actually gonna make sure I do that other save too, just in case. Because we don't want to load the other one by accident and be 65 hours back. Alright, there we go. Now that we've used it. Okay. We're gonna see who we have to go to.